To see, give you a flavor of what's going on over in Bucks County with Presley there. 4 o'clock today, the president gives him the Medal of Freedom. A couple of people today have written the Medal of Freedom, the Presidential Medal of Freedom was created for people exactly like Charlie Kirk. And again, I'm looking at even the New York Times today. They have a big piece why so many Gen Zers are drawn to conservative Christianity. And in there, and I've seen this in two other places, they maintain that it's believed, because I don't know how you would have this number exactly, but it is believed that more men are attending church now than women. And there's all sorts of rationales given around that. Could that be so? In your experience, when you go, do you see more men than women? Maybe relatively close, but that's unusual. And this guest essay for the New York Times says that Charlie Kirk, of course, is a major factor. I told you at the rally on Friday, it was a younger group, more so than usual, and it was much more spiritual than usual. As far as the speakers there for Jack Cettarelli, mixing it in, it had much more spirituality attached to it than it did usually. So why are so many Gen Zers drawn to conservative Christianity? They don't say it's negative. They give some of the credit to Charlie Kirk. And they talk about this, and several people there, I noticed, that the spirituality is mixed in with politics. Now, some people don't like that, but the people that are articulating this are seeing that if you don't do that, then you're losing out. So there is a political bent to their spirituality. And we saw that at the rally on Friday. We saw it big time. We had Heather Torno on yesterday, who's organized groups sort of like Turning Point USA for slightly older than college, and how in 3 weeks, 15,000 people in South Jersey are members now. It's astounding. And today, President Trump will tap into that, honoring Charlie Kirk. All right, 855-839-1210. You get on board. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all that you have to do is push pound 1210. Now, my attention shifts a little bit throughout the show today to talk about what the other side is up to. So this Saturday, we're going to see across America, they say across the world, the No Kings Rally Day, meaning Trump's a king, America doesn't have kings, etc. I'm going to play you one of the top organizers in a second, saying what they're doing is as American as apple pie. Really? And I have how they're telling people to dress, what they should be doing if you're coming to the No Kings event. The thing that astounds me is the fact that the suburban component of this, the people being oppressed, you hear the blue cities and all that, there's some of it. But places like Doylestown and Habertown, the resistance signs, what is it with these people in the suburbs? They've gone from being liberal to being progressive now. They're insulated from most of this stuff, but they're the ones that are fired up and constantly attacking Trump. And we're seeing the change here in the Delaware Valley. We talk about this all the time with Montgomery County, Delaware County. Well, Delaware County, I'm looking at an article today, just to take one as the tip of the spear here. Delaware County, Wally Nunn writes at Broad and Liberty, has buried in their budget, which they haven't announced yet, this ticking time bomb of debt. They're going to have to raise taxes again. They just raised them 23%. And then remember, Chester County raised them astounding numbers. What did zombies take over the suburbs? Can't Republicans in Delaware County make a case just on that basis with these radicals that have taken over? They're no longer just liberals. In Delaware County, they are stone-cold radicals, and in Montgomery County, they are too. Chester County, I'm not sure. And Bucks County, it's kind of an even playing field there. Sort of. But what the heck happened to these places? So some of the advice for the No Kings rally: a face mask is a great addition to protect your immunocompromised neighbors, but also, they write, to protect your identity. If there's pushback from those who disagree or a news film crew at the event, at least tuck a cheerfully covered bandana into your bag that can multitask to protect your decollage from the sun and maybe a brow of sweat and be a face mask in a pinch. They're telling people to hide their identities. And these are the good guys. These are as American as apple pie. These are the mamas and papas from the suburbs. They go on to talk about what colors should you wear. Don't wear black. That's like the other side. You're not in the militia. It's a peaceful event, and by wearing neutral or cheery colors, it conveys we are organizing peacefully. This is a great time to wear those political T-shirts you've gathered over the years, add pins to your bag or jacket, rock a statement hat, or a DIY some meaningful attire, okay? So this is where we are. This is what we're up against, the No Kings rally happening this weekend. All right, now this is the head of the No Kings rally, one of the organizers. This will be cut 6. This guy tells the protesters that are happening this weekend, this is the most American thing since apple pie.
And it's also funny that they can't actually say No Kings. They've got to make some other name up for it because they understand it. They say No Kings. How is that objectionable?
Right.
How could anybody say that that's anything other than the most American thing since apple pie? But I do think we have to hold two things in our head at the same time. One, anybody who's been to a protest this year that's been organized by Indivisible or No Kings has seen moms and grandmas and kids and dogs and funny chants, and it was a feeling of joyous power out in the streets. And on the other hand, we've got an authoritarian regime who wants to crack down on free speech. So we should show up in force, and we should take care. We should attend the security training briefings. We should attend the how to de-escalate briefings and trainings. We should do that work so that if anything happens at these protests, we're ready to do it. But if your First Amendment rights are under attack and you decline to show up because of those threats, you don't have First Amendment rights. So if anybody is out there watching this and is like, well, I don't know, I've never been to a protest, or I'm hearing a lot of gnarly stuff from this regime, and maybe I won't come out. Let me tell you, it's going to be fun, it's going to be powerful, and it's going to be part of history.
There we go. As American as apple pie, these insulated people in the suburbs wanting to tell people in the city they don't have a right to security, to protection, wanting to say that Trump is a Nazi, that you're a Nazi if you support him. I just would love, I'm probably going to go to one. And you know what question I'm going to be asking? I'm going to be asking about Charlie Kirk. I'm going to be asking about the Nazi stuff. Havertown, Doylestown, the usual suspects. What is it that's propelling it? Well, they feel as if they're it's virtue signaling of the highest order. No Kings again. This is No Kings Part 2. They did it in June. They're running it back. This is cut 4. Here's Tom Emmer, one of the leaders in the House, linking this No Kings rally to what's going on with the shutdown. Now, I believe it that Democrats are going to come to the table after Saturday, but they want to show these people at the No Kings rallies they're fighting Trump. And by the way, is it like Men in Black with a neuralizer that somehow or another they have forgotten all these people that told us about peace in Gaza, all the people on the left that told us about that? Well, Trump has delivered on that. So why in the world are we not hearing as much about Gaza today? Because they're moving on from Gaza until something happens there. Then they can go back at it again and scream genocide in Israel and anti-Semitic stuff. For now, though, they can't say what a wonderful thing this is, at least at this point, that things are moving forward. All righty, here is Tom Ever, cut 4.
This is about one thing and one thing only: to score political points with the terrorist wing of their party, which is set to hold, as Leader Scalise just commented on, a Hate America rally in D.C. next week.
Yeah, they can masquerade all that they want with grandmoms and doggies and kids and all the rest of it. But at the core of it, in the Philadelphia rally, the D.C., and things of that nature, it is hate America. At least hate traditional America. They want to replace America. They don't like the America that got us to where we are now. That's what we're seeing. Is that as American as apple pie? No, it is not. All right, so big day today with Charlie Kirk. Now, coming up, we're going to talk with Scott Presler, who is encamped over at the old courthouse in Doylestown. I believe that's what he said yesterday. Giving away, if you can get over there. Charlie Kirk, I'm wearing one Freedom shirts, T-shirts, hats, and also registering voters, and in general, calling attention to this being Charlie Kirk Day. Now, we're not sure, but we think there could be a decision in the Bucks County story of the sheriff, Fred Herron, and whether or not he can join up, in that program to have cooperation with ICE. If it is, we'll try to get to him instantly. I can't tell how that's going to go. It could go that legally, it's pretty clear to me, he has the right to do it, but they're massing over there in Bucks County. Side question today. Henry saw this. We were taking a look yesterday. We happened to see that the Cubs won the World Series, such as it was in 1908, and then again, not till 2016. That is a massive drought. So we are looking for a drought, not a physical drought, but a long dry spell of something or other. Don't think just sports. Try to think outside that. I'll give you an example. One of my favorites, I said it the other day to someone at the rally, and they were like, what the heck, backstage? That the last Republican mayor of Philadelphia was alive for 3 years while Billy the Kid was alive. Oh, my God. That's a drought. That's starting to match the Cubs. So, I think we're up to 69 or 70, 71 years since the last Republican mayor in Philadelphia. And I would predict there's not going to be another Republican. That's the sign of the apocalypse. If a Republican got elected in Philadelphia, I find it to be, I don't know what it would take for that to happen. Okay? All right, I'll give you one more. A drought would be the Dust Bowl. That's kind of a physical drought when I was looking at this, certainly. Henry, how about yours?
Yeah, how about a drought of the no transportation, selling, consuming of alcohol in the United States for a period of 13 years, from 1920 to 1933. We had a little dark period we like to call Prohibition.
Talk about a dark spell.
When you said that yesterday, historically, I always thought it was only a couple years. You're right. That is a long drought.
Yeah, a decade plus.
Decade plus of no alcohol.
Of legal alcohol.
Yeah,
there was
yeah,
still tons of it circulating
still
around.
Still had bootleggers doing God's work.
We know that, but I mean,
Moonshine
yes,
stuff.
legally to be drinking this 13 years is amazing. All right, Andrew, do you have one?
Well, so I got a couple. I will
Yeah.
take some sports ones off the board.
Okay.
The NFL, the longest drought. They never won a Super Bowl, but they did win a championship in 1947, the Arizona Cardinals. 76 years since the last time that organization has won a championship.
Okay.
And the one of the most obvious ones, the Cleveland at the time, they were the Indians.
Mm-hmm.
The last time they won the World Series was in 1948.
Right.
They've been to the World Series 4 times since then. They haven't won, and they were the ones in 2016 who lost to the Cubs in 7 games.
Ah, that's right. No, it was the Tigers, was it not? Or was it the Indians? Okay, either way.
Yeah, it was the Indians, because
Okay.
that was the big thing. Like, both of them had long droughts, and so they made a
Okay.
big deal about it, so
Okay.
it was very historic.
All right, that's what we're looking for. Droughts of one sort or another. Now, just don't center just in on one aspect. Think a little bit outside the box. Erica Kirk to accept the Medal of Freedom Award today for Charlie Kirk posthumously with the president on his birthday. On Charlie Kirk's, he would have been 32, only 32 today. You know, the good die young. Martin Luther King, I think, was only 39, even though people looked older back then, the way they dressed, the carriage. I mean, he was only 39.
Yeah, people were 40 years old with
Yeah.
white, gray hair.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
all
he
these
looks like
wrinkles.
he's in his mid-50s, kind of, just as an example. All right, you do that at 855-839-1210. And the No Kings rally coming up this weekend. I think they'll get numbers. What's the point? And who are these people? Well, we played you the one guy. They're as American as apple pie. Really? Is that what they're going to be talking about? Are they going to be running down traditional America, not just Trump? 855-839-1210.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-554-3775. That's 800-554-3775. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-554-3775. That's 800-554-3775 today.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Pennsylvania can count on.
Tune in to the Crash Proof Retirement Show Saturdays at 11 a.m. to hear Joanne Small-Canella and Tracy Stillman. The Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturday mornings at 11 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Don't miss the Labor and Energy Show with J-Doc and Krause. Brought to you by the Labor and Energy Alliance this Saturday night at 6. Find out about the important issues that will affect you. The Labor and Energy Show, Saturday night at 6 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Yo, Doylestown. We know your favorite station is 1210 WPHT.
All right, Dom Giordano show. We'll get to Scott Presler here coming up momentarily in Doylestown as we commemorate Charlie Kirk's 32nd birthday. Alex Pasternak. Alex, if you're listening, you just sent me something on Twitter about, I think you got pretty good knowledge of this, how the Havertown, of all places, she sent me progressive indivisible.org and affiliated groups have effectively divided Haverford Township, Delaware County, Pennsylvania. And the protesters coming from there, I guess she thinks are kind of astroturfish. to put it mildly. Yeah, but places like Havertown, Doylestown, we knew. It's been the capital of the PhD moms forever. But Havertown, this is where we're seeing resistance. All right, before we get to Scott, a couple things. Mamdani is going to be on tomorrow on Fox with Martha McCallum. Now, is that an indicator they're feeling the heat a little bit with Cuomo, and they feel they have to show he's not a commie? And they think Martha McCallum is the person on Fox to try to do that with. Bad choice. Martha McCallum, you've seen it before, in an interview like this, comes across very well, not as partisan, but she will grill him. That's my sense. Now, I'm still okay if Mamdani, as you know, wins. I'm kind of cheering for that because this will set us up for the midterms. It'll be bad for New York and all, but you're going to see constant heat on the Democrat Party to answer for this guy in large measure. So why go on Fox News after all this time and go with Martha McCallum? Well, we'll see that tomorrow. All right, that's one thing. Now, this guy, Cody Balmer, has pleaded guilty today. I think it's around 22 counts of arson and other related crimes. He gets 25 to 50 years. Now, obviously, he's mentally unbalanced. But the question still remains because taxpayers are on the hook for all this stuff. How did he get over the wall, do that damage? How did he get away? And more importantly, it gets to Josh Shapiro. Balmer, again, has said that he did this for the Palestinian people. He didn't like Josh Shapiro's stance that was pro-Israel. And that's the only area maybe of life that I agree with Josh Shapiro. That he's correct on this, but he's trying to downplay it. He wants to be the Democrat Party nominee. He's running no matter what. And the bottom line is, in order to get that, he has to kind of disavow, put this on the back burner. They hear somebody's trying to burn up his house because of this stuff, and they immediately believe that he's pro-Israel, as he is or has been, supportive of what was going on there, by and large. And this is a huge negative for him in many states like Michigan and others. So Josh Shapiro and the media, Inquirer, to their credit, did print, that's why this guy did it. So 25 to 50 years for this maniac. But again, the unanswered questions as this continues forward are prevalent. All right, hit us on the side question. Something that's a long time between something good happening, a long time drought, like a Republican winning in Philadelphia. A long time drought of one sort or another. Think of the word drought in the sense of a long time between something that you're going after and it actually happening, if ever.
I have a sports drought.
Sure.
I thought of that. I had to confirm real quick, but I knew it off the top of my head, but I had to make sure. It's going to be broken this season as the Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh will likely win the American League MVP. He is a switch hitter. The last switch hitter to win American League MVP was back in 1971. It was done by a pitcher who didn't even bat.
Okay. Wow.
Vita Blue for the Oakland Athletics.
Yeah, okay.
But he technically counts as the last switch hitter to win American League MVP.
That's the big dumper guy.
Yeah, the big thumper.
Okay. All right. So hit us with that. Doesn't have to be sports. Could be sports. Get in early today and we'll get a winner. One other thing about Josh Shapiro, and that is, and we'll probably have them on tomorrow. We've had them on before. It is one of the saddest stories, and it would be a human interest story. But what I'm going to tell you makes it much bigger than that. We've had on before the attorneys, I think twice, different ones, for the Greenbergs. They're the grieving family whose daughter allegedly committed suicide. That's what the original report in Philadelphia said around that. And so yesterday, a 32-page, there were other medical examiners who came in and said, "Are you kidding me? She stabbed herself 22, 23 times. That's preposterous. Are you crazy? What's going on here?" And they ruled it wasn't a suicide. Now, what's going on here is the Josh Shapiro connection to all this. And there are all kinds of allegations around that. We do know, Attorney General, do know some of the things that he may have taken a look at in this and refused to move forward. So yesterday, the arrogant Philadelphia Solicitor's Office and their medical examiner, in the face of overwhelming evidence, 32-page report, said, nope, it's a suicide. And they actually led off. When I read this last night with Roe was following this a little bit. It's emotional. They actually said that this woman, young woman who allegedly killed herself, did it because she was so anxious that she was going to be found out inflating the grades of the first graders that she taught. So allegedly, she killed herself over that. Can you imagine? These people in Philadelphia, they are endless. They're going to do what they want. That's what this medical examiner, I'm going to do what I want, and that's it. Blank you. That's the actual language in here. Now, when we get the attorney on, we'll let him. She's got first graders. She's going to be found out that she was giving them higher grades than they deserve, not because of any corruption, just because maybe she wasn't, She wasn't hard enough as far as working on it. And that's the reason she killed herself. All right. Coming up, I think that's Scott Presler. Okay. We'll talk with Scott Presler shortly. Here's how you get in. Imagine first graders inflating grades. You kill yourself over that. You're about to be found out. This big scandal. Oh, my God. How did you give Johnny a B+? He's only a C. You know what to do. Fall on your sword here, so to speak. And she actually found more cuts, more. And she said those are just average, everyday type of thing that you would expect. All right, we're going to talk with the, I believe it's new head of the RNC. We got a lot of big elections going on. What's the RNC up to? Virginia, New Jersey, et cetera. That's coming up. First, let me remind you about Dr. Bentz. Let's talk about my friend and board-certified prosthodontist, Dr. Robert Bentz. Big news from Dr. Bentz. I've told you over the years all the great stuff that goes on, but the Bentz Dental Group, Dr. Bentz and Dr. Cooley Bentz, are thrilled to welcome a new prosthodontist to the team, their daughter, Dr. Emily Bentz. So that's 2 prosthodontists now. That eases the burden for you of making your time work with them, etc. Dr. Emily is thrilled to join her father in continuing to provide the highest quality care and solution-based treatments for the most complex dental challenges. Now, I've been a patient of Dr. Bentz for 10 years, always happy with all the improvements that I've made. Get on the road to great dental health and that smile in addition to that you've always wanted. Call and schedule that appointment at 610-272-6949. 610-272-6949 or visit bentzdentalgroup.com. BENTZ dentalgroup.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. My friends at Bob's Little Sports Shop, they're not just about selling firearms. Bob's is a full-service shop with years of experience and a commitment to helping customers become safe, responsible gun owners. Bob's instructors are certified NRA and range safety officers. Bob's also offers renewal certifications. Always check to make sure your license is current. Now, ladies, listen up. This is important. Don't miss their next ladies-only shooting event on October 25th. Bring your moms, daughters, sisters, and girlfriends to this event. It's perfect for beginners or experienced shooters who are looking for guidance. Bob's ladies-only events are focused on women, taught by women. Register now for this event and learn to protect yourself by the professionals. No alcohol or drugs permitted, no firearms ID card or prior experience is required to attend. Visit bobslittle.sportshop.com or call 856-881-7575. Bob's Little Sports Shop, 316 Delsea Drive, Glassboro. This ad sponsored by Bob's Little Sports Shop.
With the crisp fall air just around the corner, let's talk about your fireplace. That's right, you heard me. Do you have an old, drafty, or smelly fireplace? For over 30 years, Rettinger Fireplace has been transforming fireplaces in the tri-state area into beautiful, authentic, and efficient systems easily operated by remote control. Want to love your fireplace again? Call 855-GET-RET to schedule your free consultation or visit RettingerFireplace.com. Choose Rettinger Fireplace, where details make the difference.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
The man accused of trying to kill Governor Shapiro and his family has pleaded guilty and will spend at least 25 years in prison. How will the city use AI going forward? That will be the focal point of a Philadelphia City Council hearing this week. And the Sixers are bringing back their old mascot, Hip Hop.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Now back to the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
This is Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
All right, it is Dom time. Of course, the only elections, the really big elections that we have are the governor's race in off years like this in Virginia and also here in Jersey. But of course, we also have that attorney general race in Virginia. That is mind-boggling what's going on. Joining us to talk about that and what they're up to, too, moving forward, is the new RNC chair, Joe Gruthers. Here on Talk Radio 1210. Joe Gruters here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Joe, welcome in. Thanks for joining us in Philadelphia.
Yeah, hey, thanks so much for having me on, Dom. I really appreciate it.
So, Joe, what's the role, first of all, here in Jersey? What's the RNC doing in Jersey, and what's your sense of the race in Jersey?
Listen, I think we have a great chance. I think that, Chitterelli, ran a great campaign last time. He's running a better campaign this time. I think that he has the momentum that he needs. You're starting to see some more outside help come in. We've been there for over 6 or 7 months on the ground with our election integrity teams and our get out the vote teams to try to make sure that we can help him at the end here where he really needs it. And I know the Republican Governor Association's helping, and a lot of people are coming together, but there's a lot of people on the ground. They're doing fantastic.
Well, Joe, let's go back. Let's go back
Sure.
there for a moment. One of the prime things with our listeners is election integrity. In 2024 here in Pennsylvania, we had Linda Kearns and Scott Presler, and Kearns really made people believe they could vote by mail, early voting, everything else. So give us an idea. Hudson County the last time was very suspect. You may remember late in the race, suddenly in Hudson County, they were finding scads of votes, and there was a real shot up until that point. He only lost by 3 points. So what are your people doing as far as election integrity?
Well, listen, that's the name of the game. That's what we specialize in now, and it's really about making sure we had boots on the ground. You know, when I say people on the ground, I think we've had over 6 for the last 7 months, and obviously we're continuing to build those numbers up. But what it basically means is we're building the infrastructure in recruiting the volunteers and poll workers and doing everything we can to make sure that we have all the areas that we need to have covered. And that also includes recruiting attorneys, hiring attorneys to be there on Election Day when issues come up, and that's what we've been doing. So our guys have been spearheading that on the ground for over 6 months, preparing for the upcoming elections. And listen, we've done this successfully now in 2024, but what we're doing is every single cycle that we go through, we're making improvements and we're getting better. And I will tell you, as a party, we have 92 active lawsuits, obviously not all in New Jersey, but we have had some wins in New Jersey. But we are very confident about our ability to protect the vote.
Absolutely. And, Joe, I would just say that is job one with our listeners, and it really worked in 2024. They felt so good about that. Now, Virginia, it looks like it's tightening up for a while. It looked like the Democrat had the edge. And two things, it is not just, Joe, where I sit, the crazed attorney general who really, was it National Review said he, instead of a suit, he ought to be in a straitjacket, this guy. But it's also the other side critical where Republicans are spending their money in advertising. I saw one report, they claim 57% on making the Democrat try to answer the question about men in women's sports, men in girls' bathrooms, or boys in girls' bathrooms. The other side still doesn't get it. People care about that, particularly in Virginia, which has been a hotbed of that debate.
Well, listen, they just don't want the indoctrination to occur in the schools. They want, listen, live your life, do what you want to do, but get it out of the way. You know, don't put it in people's faces. Mm-hmm. And what Jay Jones did and what he said, the fact that he wants to murder children, especially in this environment, even though he said it in the past, and it's just coming out. But it shows you his mental state. It shows you just how bad the political rhetoric has gotten, and certainly that's disqualifying. He should have dropped out. But the good thing about him not dropping out is, we're making gains there, and yes, it's all of a sudden the governor's race may be within reach, and we've had people on the ground there as well. And so it's not only just about making sure it's protecting the vote; it's about making sure our voters turn out and making sure that we're getting, our both in the Republican Party in Virginia, the Republican Party in New Jersey, to be working with them in their ground efforts and their ground game to make sure that we can maximize our turnout, because that's what it's going to take for us to be successful. Our voters have to turn out, and they have to feel like their vote's going to matter, and that's what we've been trying to do.
Well, particularly New Jersey, Joe. That was the message of the big rally you may have seen that we had in Wildwood with Jack Chitterelli. You got to believe first that Jersey is very doable. It's not a gimme. They're pouring in. I saw a story last night. Now they're spending a lot of money just on the assembly races where they have a huge lead over Republicans as far as numbers. They are feeling it. And that rally the other day was enormous, underlining what we know, that Jersey is winnable.
Well, and the reason why they invest in these assembly races, it doesn't matter the fact that it's lopsided, they have supermajorities. It's about turning out the vote, and it's about getting their voters stimulated enough to try to show up for loser-type candidates. I mean, if you're a Democrat and you had a candidate like Mikey Sherrill basically not commit to raising taxes and to basically doubling down, I mean, my question for the voters in New Jersey is, are they getting their money's worth? In almost every single category, their taxes are the highest or near the highest in the whole country. And so if you're facing that, do you want to continue to how do you get your voters to vote? Well, you give them other candidates to try to turn out for, and then have them vote down, up and down ticket. But it's Chitterelli is doing an amazing job. We're super impressed with what he's done. The ground game, you talk about Pressler, some of these other guys that are on the ground every day. really making a big difference for us in terms of turnout.
Parting question with the shutdown. I'm in a camp, and I don't know about you, where the shutdown goes on until at least Saturday when we have this radical No King's Day. They have to do that to throw the meat to them and to say we're fighting. And then maybe a few days after that, there is some rationality. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, listen, they're going to continue to vote against it. You know, Mikey voted against it.
Right.
You know, the Senate has voted 8 times. I think they're going to vote for the 9th time today to keep the government shut. And yes, just like what you heard last week, they want to keep the shutdown because they think it's going to inflict pain on the president. But what it's doing is it's hurting the American people and the people that rely on the government most. You know, I'm glad that President Trump has stepped up to make sure that the armed forces get their paychecks. But what about the seniors? What about these other people that are relying on government funding for a variety of sources? You know, it's the Democrats, it's Mikey, Cheryl, and others that are holding the government hostage for these left-wing extremist policies, including funding, you know, illegal alien health care and you know, taxpayer-funded trans surgeries in Botswana and other ridiculous things, when they could obviously pass this clean CR and get the government going again. It's to me, it doesn't make any sense. But like I said, for them, it's all about political points. The president's trying to do everything he can to make sure he helps the average American out there.
Joe, where do we go for the RNC? What's the website? Where do we go for more information, volunteer, fundraising? Where do we go?
Listen, just go to GOP.com and volunteer. There's ways you could sign up to volunteer and participate in calls and walks in your area. And we have people all across the country calling into New Jersey. That's how close we think this race is going to be. We've mobilized all of our state parties to try to get out there to help out. But feel free to go to GOP.com. Feel free to email me or to reach out on social media if you have any specific ideas. But listen, we're going to win this race. Chitterelli is a great candidate. We're so glad that he's running again, and he's running the type of campaign that we need to be successful in a state like New Jersey. And Dom, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you having me on, as
Joe,
always.
Anytime, please come back after we win in New Jersey. We're going to be celebrating that night.
You got it. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Joe. All right, the new head of the RNC here on Talk Radio 1210. And thanks to listeners, they know they asked us to come on. So that's always nice rather than, the paper chase here. All right, Scott Presler better be talking to the president. Oh, he's coming up next. All right, he might have been. He's out there in Doylestown. He is next. And Brendan, all right, Brendan, just hang there. You got a great answer. That's all coming up on the side quest. Maybe even a winning answer.
Yeah.
All right, let me go to Brendan in Chad's Ford here. Brendan, what's your answer here? We think it's so good, we're breaking the code here. Go ahead.
Oh, well, thanks a lot, guys. Love the show. I listen as often as I can. Great job, guys. Next year will mark 30 years since a U.S. car manufacturer produced the number one selling car in the United States.
What was it? Do you know?
The bonus question, it was in 1996. The number one selling car in the United States was the Ford Taurus.
Oh, I've had a Taurus or a Tauri or something like that. Okay. I could see that.
I think my mom had one of those around that time, too.
Yeah. All right. That is excellent. That's outside the box. Leader in the clubhouse. Again, that's a long in the United States. All right. Scott Presler on duty there in Doylestown. He is next here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, feeling run down? Skip the quick fixes that wear off fast. Fuel your day the natural way with Rescue Orosine. This unique supplement works at the cellular level to help your body produce steady, lasting energy so you can power through work, family, and whatever life brings. Plus, it supports a healthy heart and blood pressure, giving you daily support to feel your best. Right now, you can get a special buy one, get one free deal. Just use that code MyEnergy, all one word, MyEnergy, when you order Rescue Orosine today. Call 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Speak with a friendly rescue product consultant or visit res-q.com. Just enter that code, MyEnergy, at checkout. Don't miss out. Double up on your daily energy support with this limited time offer. Rescue Orosine, lasting energy naturally. Get it right now at res-q.com.
It's that time of the year. The lights are bright. The bands are loud. High school football is back. And so is the Friday Night High School Football Scoreboard Show. Friday nights at 10. James Bailey and Daryl Dobis run down all of the big high school games in the region. Be here Friday night at 10. The Friday Night High School Football Scoreboard Show. Only on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app.
This Merrill Reese update is brought to you by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865.
By this time of the season, going into the 7th week, we usually have a definite idea of who the Super Bowl contenders are. This season, who knows? The Kansas City Chiefs looked terrific Sunday night against a tough Lions team, but the Eagles gave them one of their 3 losses. There are no unbeaten teams. Despite 2 straight losses, the Eagles at 4-2 remain very much in contention. Certainly some adjustments are needed and some quick recoveries, but there are 11 games left. With the Eagles, this is Merrill Reese.
Hey, this is Larry Stitus with Investor Schooling. How many times are you going to listen to my voice before you finally go to investorschooling.com? I can't believe you haven't signed up for a class yet. You're going to learn real estate investing. You're going to learn stock options trading. You're going to learn things about money that you didn't even know existed. Go to investorschooling.com right now. Oh my goodness. This Thursday, investorschooling.com, and take that free class. See you there.
As the leaves change, it's the perfect time to refresh your home with Kitchen Magic. For over 45 years, we've been family-owned, American-made, and tariff-proof, delivering quality kitchen and bathroom models you can trust. And now this fall, we're giving you even more to smile about. Enjoy 40% off installation on every kitchen and bathroom project. Bring warmth, comfort, and style into your home this season with savings you'll love. Call Kitchen Magic or visit kitchenmagic.com today.
See website for details. BillsHappen.com is not a lender. It does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, everything is so expensive, and our bills are piling up.
You're telling me credit cards are maxed out, rent is due, and the car payment's right around the corner? We need some extra cash.
We should do what my friend from work did. She went to BillsHappen.com and got the money she needed the next day.
Our credit is not great. Are you sure that would work for us?
BillsHappen.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
Sounds like it's going to be a hassle.
My friend said it was super easy. She did it right from her phone during her lunch break.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. BillsHappen.com's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Guess what? I went to BillsHappen.com, and we're getting our money tomorrow.
Wow, that's fast. Problem solved.
If you need extra cash, go to BillsHappen.com. That's BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com.
Football fans don't just watch the game, they live it. From pregame rituals to postgame celebrations, PNC is proud to be presenting sponsor of the Eagles Radio Network and a devoted fan just like you. Fans who show up in full force in every kind of weather, because keeping your finances boring allows you to make exciting memories full of face paint, tailgates, and all the things that make game day. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Free speech lives here. With Dom Giordano, weekdays noon till 3 on Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
All right, our guy on the front lines over there in Doylestown on the anniversary, the 32nd birthday anniversary, only 32 years of age, was killed at the age of 31. Let's go to Scott Presler over there in Doylestown.
Oh, good one.
Hey, Scott, how are things going?
Well, Dom, I am here in Doylestown outside of the old courthouse, 55 East Court Street, and I am looking at a continuous stream of voters that are walking in to vote in person on demand, and they're signing up right now for mail-in ballots. Dom, we've even had people that we are switching from Democrat to Republican from being out here today. And we've been out since 8 o'clock in the morning, and we will be here until 5 p.m., rain or shine. And actually, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful day.
Well, we will, as promised, go to you once an hour today, Scott, here on a big birthday. And we didn't replay it today because we have you on. I remember when you came on, I think it was the first show because he was killed later in the day. All I knew was at the end of my show that Charlie Kirk had been shot. Didn't know he passed until later. It was moving beyond belief. So when did you start to work with Charlie Kirk, and what's your best, knowing him as a friend, as a colleague, what's your best recollection of him for listeners who never met him?
Well, I first had met him, I think, back in 2018 was when I first met Charlie in person. And, you know, as I've been recalling today to voters that are out here voting in honor of him on his 32nd birthday today, October 14th, the anniversary, is Charlie wasn't just, I know that he had his own show, the Charlie Kirk Show, but it ironically wasn't the Charlie Kirk Show. I would almost say it was Charlie and Friends, that he elevated others, he uplifted others, he brought people with him. And, you know, he had me in Detroit speaking at his conference. He had me in Florida speaking at his conference. He had me on stage. He didn't have to give me a voice. He didn't have to elevate me. He didn't have to bring me along for the ride. But that's the man that Charlie was. Charlie was singularly focused on the mission and on the movement. And I like to think that's how we are here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, too. And we're building a big, beautiful party, a beautiful tent, bringing along everyone with us that is fighting for freedom against against government tyranny. And ultimately, that's why we're here today. We're trying to get the base to continue to vote in every single election. So the horrific tragedy that happened just over a month ago, we can use ballots, not bullets, because the world is watching our response right now, and this is how we're responding as a country and as a Commonwealth.
Well, whatever happens, though, that last point, you and I've said that from the first time I met you, both incrementalists down to the smallest race, the importance of that. You have made the Supreme Court race much more money for advertising here in Pennsylvania. You've put it on the map. It is you, no one else, that has talked about this for over a year, I think. Those three judges in one fell swoop, not to be retained. These are usually sleeper races, Scott. So whatever happens, it shows the power of that. Now, I'm wearing the Freedom shirt, and these are very nice T-shirts, Scott. Do you still have any left?
Yes. We have boxes of Charlie Kirk Freedom T-shirts ready to go. Please come on by. And I want to make it clear, you don't have to vote today to get a T-shirt. We're giving them out to everyone. We have stickers for everyone. If you happen to also vote, wonderful. But this is about getting the movement continuing. This is about honoring Charlie. And I'm asking everyone, if you live in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Virginia, Charlie would have been 32 years old today. I ask you, text or call 32 people that you know that live in Pennsylvania or New Jersey or Virginia and get them to vote this November in honor of Charlie. Text, call, write, 32 people. I think if every Republican did that, if every Trump supporter, if every Charlie Kirk supporter did that, man, we can win these elections big this November.
All right, Scott, thank you. And where do people find you? Where do they go to find you in a day-to-day?
Well, come find me outside of the old courthouse here in Doylestown. I'm here until 5 o'clock like a crazy person, and I'm going to be out knocking tomorrow in perhaps Yardley, I think maybe Levittown, Bensalem. You can go to earlyvoteaction.com. You can find me on all social medias at Scott Pressler, SCOTTPRES1SLER. And please, today is the last day to register to vote in New Jersey, nj.gov. Last day to register to vote on Charlie Kirk's birthday. And I will see you in 1 hour, Dom, or at 1:30 or 2:30 or whenever you decide.
Oh, yeah. We'll check back in with you, Scott. Keep going. Thank you, Scott, very much.
Thanks, Dom.
All right, special event out there. You want the Charlie Kirk, all you have to do is go say hello to Scott. You don't have to vote anything else. You'll like the T-shirt, and I'm sure you'll be wearing it a lot. Right there at the old courthouse in Doylestown. No Diane Marsaglia spotting yet. Be interesting if she came by and said, bring it on. All right, and the Medal of Freedom for Kirk will be today with President Trump at approximately 4 o'clock. I think they'll be doing that. at the White House. All right, I really like that. That is a heck of a drought. 30 years since an American car led in America as the best-selling car.
Crazy.
That is a great one. That's what we're looking for, a drought. You know, the number of days or month that this happened. It could be sports or it could be something like that. The last Republican to win in Philadelphia. You heard mine. Hit us with that. Get in on the side question. Get over and see Scott Presler. He'll be there until 5 o'clock today with his merry men and women. Coming up, California Democrats are going after Gavin Newsom, progressives are, because he refused to sign some interesting bills, all of one class. I'll tell you what they are and why Newsom realizes, even though the base of the party does not, what losers these are. I mean, these are really, really big losers. 855-839-1210.
Hey, listen, you can have Philly fast, reliable internet when you switch to Fios. How do I know? I got a family at 5. Everyone's got a device. Trust me, it is reliable. It is fast. And for a limited time, you can combine Fios home internet and one line of mobile for just $69.99 a month. You know how incredible that is. Get unlimited welcome for just $50 a month with auto pay plus taxes and fees when you bring your phone. And get this, I'm not done. You can add Fios 300 megabits for $19.99 a month with auto pay, mobile plus home discount, and bonus discount. So here's the deal. You want Philly fast, reliable internet for the entire family? Visit your greater Philly area Verizon store today to get this limited time offer and switch to our reliable 100% fiber optic network. For eligible new Fios internet and mobile customers, both the $15 monthly discounts for Fios and bring your phone applied over 36 months. Mobile and home discount enrollment required. $99 Fios setup charge applies. For unlimited welcome, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic and times of congestion. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
Dawn Stensland here. Kick off your fall and find yourself that new or certified luxury vehicle you've been wanting. My friends from Piazza Premium Automobiles are here to assist you in your unique vehicle search. The Piazza Premium family featuring dealerships across Pennsylvania, Delaware, and New Jersey. Find your Alfa Romeo, Maserati, Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, Jaguar, or Land Rover at PiazzaPremiumAutos.com. P-I-A-Z-Z-A, PiazzaPremiumAutos.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
At PJ Fitzpatrick, you don't have to pick between affordability and quality. You can get American-made windows that are beautiful, affordable, and energy efficient. PJ Fitzpatrick has a variety of financing packages that work with any budget. Plus, they provide peace of mind with a lifetime guarantee on materials and labor for your new windows. You can have it all. Visit TrustPJ.com for a free design consultation. That's TrustPJ.com.
In the year 2021, all pet food sold comprised of 94% dry kibble. And now, 5 years later, only 61% continues to be kibble. And everything else is alternative fresh diets. At the Dogs and Cats Rule stores, we've been the leader of fresh premium foods from the beginning. Whether it be raw, gently cooked, air-dried, dehydrated, freeze-dried, and of course that previously mentioned kibble, Dogs and Cats Rule has the largest selection of cutting-edge products of any of the neighborhood pet stores. That's Dogs and Cats Rule. Shop small, shop local, shop family.
Do you know your numbers? What numbers? Your heart health numbers, your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your blood sugar, and your body mass index. They're important, so ask your doctor. Learn your numbers, and if something doesn't seem right with them, see a Deborah specialist at one of our offices throughout South Jersey. After all, when it's your heart, you don't take chances. Find a specialist near you at demanddeborah.org.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-979-3168. 800-979-3168. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-979-3168.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. Welcome in. Great stuff from Scott Presler. 32nd birthday, it would have been, of Charlie Kirk. Got the side question. We like the one from Chad's for it. A long drought. Yes, Rich, I won't say the last name, but Rich, email me. Does a sex drought count? Of course. I don't know how you'd work that in.
A
but
dry
that's
spell.
A dry spell, but that's exactly right. What would be the definition of that? Seinfeld, I think, laid out the metrics of that, but there you go. Sure, you can hit us with that. I don't know how we would know that, but okay. A drought, meaning something, there's a dry spell, a long period of time coming between that, like the Cubs finally winning in 2016. Okay, couple of things. At least on Twitter, it appears, and we'll see if we can track them down, that there might be life in the Dugan campaign versus Krasner. I mean, after we saw Frankie Scales take apart Krasner, how could anybody vote, the mob, of course, in Philadelphia for him, but anybody reasonable vote for Krasner? Well, Judge Dugan, at least I'm seeing some information, may have been endorsed today by the Andrew Yang Forward Party. Remember, Andrew Yang did a heck of a job running in, was it 2020? Was he 2016? It's been
2020.
I think it's 2020. Yeah. Yet never would play me one-on-one in basketball. Dan, made all kinds of entreaties when he was here in Philadelphia, so there's that on his mark. But that is kind of a semi-progressive party. Why in the world would Andrew Yang's party endorse Judge Dugan against Larry Krasner? I mean, what's the play there? But that's what we're hearing. So these are not just the law and order types. I mean, this is more progressive. What beef do they have with this? Or do they think, you know what, Democrat Party, you've lost your way. Guys like Krasner, you can't continue to go down that path. So we'll see if that's the case, if that's the truth, and we'll certainly bring that to you. Now, Gavin Newsom is in the same genre. I don't know that Gavin Newsom is anything. He's probably a liberal at the end of it, but he's political about everything. But Newsom is under fire in California because there were a whole array, meaning a whole genre of so-called racial justice bills, all lumped around reparations, okay? And I maintained for years, if we can draw the Democrats into talking reparations. The what's the name? The mob will get fired up over that. I'm talking about the squad with AOC, et cetera. They'll definitely want to go down that path. Why would Newsom not sign a bill granting $6 million to California State University to study how to confirm the status of slave descendants, rejected others providing special preference to black people or the descendants of slaves? A Democrat Assembly member, Isaac Bryan, who wrote one of the bills, said the veto was more than disappointing. One of the bills would have authorized colleges to give admissions preference to the descendants of slaves, while another would require the state to investigate whether their property was taken in a racist manner through eminent domain. Perhaps the most explicit would have devoted 10% of the money from a loan program for first-time homebuyers for slave descendants. Newsom said a lot of this stuff was unnecessary. They can already do that, and he was not going to sign these things. All right, now, Newsom is a pretty good barometer if you want to see where Democrats are going, not progressives on that side, the base. And he's got to bob and weave. He's got to give the progressives something. But he is in a race as a chameleon against the ultimate chameleon, Josh Shapiro. That's what they're trying to do. And this shows good judgment on his part, despite those pressures. You cannot be saddled with a record on America's not going to go for this. It wouldn't go for it. It won't go for it now, and it won't go for it in the future. In fact, it's going to be less chance of that. So we're seeing this play out right in front of us with his judgment of how this whole thing will go. Meanwhile, today at 4 o'clock, we see Charlie Kirk honored. We'll go back, in 25 minutes or so to see how Scott Presler is doing over there in Doylestown. A lot of people coming, early voting, getting their vote in. Remember, we did that in Bucks County. It was the capital of it in 2024. I wonder if you did that. It worked. In other words, you get your mail-in ballot there, you fill it out, and you drop it in there, and you're done. If you don't like doing it through the mail, you don't trust this, that, and the other, okay, gotcha. This is a way to bank that vote, ensure that vote. What we have to have in Jersey, and we're starting to see the mail-in ballot there be pretty good for Republicans so that people don't feel we're down by 1 million votes going into Election Day, because this is going to be close, and the bottom line will be turnout. And this is what turnout is all about. All right, here is a little bit of the after effects of this is cut 10. Scott Jennings will be on the show on Friday, last night on CNN, and I think he was getting pretty emotional about it, taking off the yellow ribbon that he had been wearing for the hostages. And listen to his explanation about why he replaced it with the American flag last night.
Hamas is going around and executing some Palestinians right now, torturing them in the streets, and apparently they plan to execute more tomorrow. I mean, these are bad people. And
Totally agree.
The idea that they're going to de-radicalize or willingly give up their arms, I'm skeptical of. So
Sure.
I worry for the Palestinians, actually, because of what Hamas is now doing to them inside of Gaza. But I've been wearing this pin for 2 straight years, waiting for these hostages to come home. And I've been waiting to take it off. And I'm going to take it off tonight because the 20 people came out. And I met some of the families earlier this year, and I've been following their stories quite closely. And I'm going to replace it with an American pin, American flag pin, because in my opinion, this was a huge victory for the American people, led by our president. But it was only through the power and the force of will of the President of the United States that 20 people returned to their families, that we have the beginnings of the possibility of a peaceful era in the Middle East, and that maybe a future can be had by millions upon millions of people in a place where it's sometimes hard to visualize a future.
All right, so all that is right there. There will be a Politics and Pints. More details will be coming up in the near future with Scott Jennings. All right, it's going to be fabulous with his new book. This is the guy. I don't know of anybody better in media, and he's in a hostile environment. He takes on all comers on CNN every night. All right, this is cut 3. Here is a former hostage, Omar Shahem Tov. I think he was one of the ones released, saying that Hamas was very scared of Trump. They wanted Kamala to be elected. Now, I know you think, duh, that's common sense. But hearing it from a hostage with the way they were acting, that's something the American people need to hear. Here's what he said.
Yes, it's him. He got me out. He got the hostages out. Before, we felt like nothing is happening, And I remember for me, ever since he came into the road, they were very scared of him. Yeah, they wanted
Who?
Terrorists.
We're afraid of Trump.
Yeah, they wanted Kamala to be chosen, to be elected.
You talked politics with them?
Yeah. They wanted Kamala to be elected. But as soon as Donald Trump was elected, they understood that he wants to bring the hostages back home. Yeah. So immediately the way they treated me changed. So if it's the amount of food, I could say this, that when Trump became president, yeah, the way they treated us changed for me. Personally, this is what I
think
felt.
because they anticipated that a deal would come soon.
Yeah.
And that's when they started giving you more food.
Exactly. More food, treated me better, stopped cursing me, stopped spitting on me.
All right, there you go. That's only one hostage, one opinion there. But again, you hear it quite a lot. By the way, Alyssa Farah on The View last January said, if the Israeli hostages get out, I promise to wear a MAGA hat for one day. Well, she didn't wear it yesterday and she didn't wear it today. And I'm putting the money down. They're not going to let her wear a MAGA hat on The View, no matter what, even though it would be a great stunt. They could comment on it. They could go back and forth, say, I can't do the show with you with that hat on.
If they really cared about the viewership, they would do it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a point that I was going to make. The View, doesn't do horribly. I know some people think it must. How does it? But it doesn't do well. They don't care about that. They're in their own little bubble because it's a newsmaker. It's a marquee from Barbara Walters on down. To Henry's point, yes, people would tune in to see the reaction to that. Instead, nope, we're not going to do that. All right, coming up, we haven't spoken with Judge Patrick Dugan in quite a while, running against Larry Krasner. He's still out there, Republican Party behind him. And if I had to say one guy that at least exemplifies independence, independent voters, so-called, it would be Andrew Yang. The Forward Party. Henry, they endorsed? I guess that's what
they endorsed.
They endorsed him today.
Or at least they plan to endorse. That's the announcement.
Yeah. Okay.
The announcement of the announcement.
The announcement. Okay. But that's fine. I don't think he's going to backpedal out of it. Why in the world would a guy like Yang, who I would say, I'm not going to use the word progressive because it's pejorative, but he's liberal to that way. Why in the world would they jump into the ring and endorse Dugan against Krasner? It's intriguing. He is next here on Talk Radio 1210.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
I'd like to see what would happen to Zach Bryan if he spit in the face of an ICE agent. Calling cops cocky mother effers is a bad look, especially with police under attack in America. But it's his right to do it.
And it's going to be a #1 song.
Well, why don't we survey the Andy Chan holiday block party and ask all those cops when we're there having beers next year? Yeah, I come after everybody on this show. I took out Pam Bondi and Zach Bryan, and we're not even halfway through the show.
We should just hit him up to donate to Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation. Then I'd shut up.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
The good and bad with home improvement projects. The good, you save a buck or two. The bad.
Kevin, there's no hot water.
So you move on to the car.
Kevin, what's with the car?
Good news, you can recover from these.
Kevin!
Well, most all of them. But when it comes to your retirement, a mistake can be devastating. Call Joe Yakovich at JML Financial Group. He's been helping folks prepare for retirement for over 30 years. That's why he's able to correct your do-it-yourself problems before they're problems. Get your complimentary assessment of where you are now and look at some of the retirement boxes you haven't even thought of.
Kevin!
You can't YouTube your retirement. Call Joe Yakovich at 856-925-6674 or visit jmlfinancialgroup.com. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Brokers International Financial Services, LLC, member SIPC. Brokers International Financial Services, LLC is not an affiliated company.
Coverage varies by plan, view contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-260-1679. 800-260-1679. Again, that's 800-260-1679.
Fall is in the air. The leaves are turning, the games are on, and it's the perfect season for something truly one of a kind. At Cozy Jewelers in Newtown Square, custom jewelry isn't just a service, it's a passion. For 35 years, this family-owned business has created timeless, handcrafted pieces that tell your story, all designed and made in-house. And when it comes to jewelry that stands out, don't forget the fifth C. Cut, color, clarity, carat, and cozy. Make this fall unforgettable with Cozy Jewelers.
Hey, Joe DeCamry here. Fall into savings right now at United Tire and Service. When you buy any 4 tires, they'll help you winterize your vehicle. Bring your car in today and save an extra $25 on any winterization, oil change, or alignment. The team at United Tire cares just as much about your car as you do. So why would you take your car anywhere else? Find your locally owned United Tire and Service location at UnitedTire.com. That's UnitedTire.com. For the best tire prices and the best service, don't drive alone. Drive United.
Now you can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, Dom Giordano's show, and this is an intriguing thing for so-called independents, moderate Democrats, et cetera, in Philadelphia, that yes, Judge Patrick Dugan has gotten the endorsement of the Forward Party. That's Andrew Yang, and I'd say it is a premier independent voters. You know, no ideology here, Democrat, Republican, whatever. And that happened this morning. Judge Patrick Dugan is with us again on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Judge, welcome in. Thanks for joining us. Congratulations on this.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate you having me. Yeah, it's good, exciting news.
So the Forward Party, how would you characterize it? You heard how I did independents, Andrew Yang, who ran a very interesting campaign. Why are they endorsing you versus Krasner?
Well, it's a no-brainer. They're a centrist, unity-type, independent Forward Party, trying to get away from the two parties that we have now, obviously the dominant Republicans and Democrats. So they're the centrist party, and, you know, through conversations from a couple of people, they said, hey, we would love to endorse you, Dugan, because Krasner is so far off the cliff that it makes sense to help me appeal to the independents in the city of Philadelphia. And there's like 130 or 140,000 registered independents in Philadelphia alone. So it should give me a nice boost to those folks who are registered independents.
Without a doubt. Now, I'm sure you followed. We are very friendly with Frank Scales and Ian McGinnis, who unmasked in several occasions Krasner, particularly the bicycle incident where he called them all Nazis, etc. I don't remember Krasner calling you a Nazi, though, during the primary. Did that happen?
He actually did. He called me that. He insinuated that I was a Nazi. Anybody who was voting for me was a Nazi at one of the forums.
Okay.
One of them in Center City. So, yeah, Larry is pretty good at name calling. You know, he doesn't know what else to say when you're talking about issues, so he reverts to calling people Nazis and fascists. So one of the things, if I could talk to Frankie Scales, I think the next time he talks to Larry and he talks about books, he should tell Larry, how about if you read the book, The Criminal Code of Pennsylvania, and actually do your job?
Hey, Frank, get a copy of the Criminal Code of Pennsylvania. Bring it with you. Cite page 26, something random. That's exactly right with Krasner. There is no criminal code. It's the Krasner code or whatever he makes up. Judge, where do people find you as the campaign continues? And this is a big shout out. Any independent should know this group, what they stand for. The only gripe I have with Andrew Yang, he never played me basketball one-on-one. Other than that, though, the guy has run really good campaigns, a very smart guy, technocrat, etc. And his group is looking for good government. I think they're independent, but he's a little bit liberal. So they're not naturally someone who would go for you. I think they're appalled by Krasner, and they see what you're doing as something that's revolutionary here.
Yes, and So what I said this morning when we got this endorsement was, I have a 3-party endorsement. And what I mean by that is I'm the Republican nominee, so I'm endorsed by the Republicans. 53,000 Democrats in the springtime who are tired of Krasner have endorsed me. And now I have the Forward Party. So I'm saying I have a 3-party endorsement. So I think this is huge news, particularly to, trying to appeal to independents. And people can find me, JudgeDuganforDA.com is a Facebook, and we're Dugan for DA on all the other social medias, TikTok, Instagram, etc. So everybody got to get out and vote. 16% of Philadelphia voted in the springtime. That's why Krasner wins. His people come out. The rest of the city stays home.
Absolutely.
Everybody got to stop complaining and vote.
Absolutely. Thank you, Judge Dugan. We'll be in touch. Thanks, Judge.
You take care, Dom. Thank you.
Judge Patrick Dugan here on Talk Radio 1210. So the Forward Party endorsing. And again, I expect the Inquirer coverage. They covered it, would say this is a premier independent party. By the way, I'm looking at what goes on in Boston. Whenever I see a story like this, Boston overnight, 100+ people attack police in their vehicle set on fire. The phony governor now lecturing about this. Again, the union chief there in Boston says it's obvious. They did this. They were hell-bent on attacking police officers en masse. Okay. More has to be done as far as the rules of engagement if you're setting police cruisers on fire. Police ought to be able to take any action they deem necessary on the spot to stop that. Boston is another place. This is a new spasm, but the police union chief there saying clearly, they were saying, we're coming after you to police. How many times, how many places, how much of this do you have to see? When they're emboldened to do that, then that's when you really have to crack down. That's when the police have to mop them up. Because if they're willing to do that with the police, then who's safe from any of this? We all know that. All right, 855-839-1210. Look, the Krasner race is tough. Philadelphia, I think I saw yesterday, I'm on his email trail, that he was giving out more mental health grants to all these different groups, victims groups. Hey, victims groups, I get it. You want money to do good. This guy is the ultimate worst that we've ever seen with victims. Look at the Fitzgerald family. Look at Maureen Faulkner. The Fitzgerald family, Officer Fitzgerald killed at Temple, sergeant now. And because they wanted capital punishment and went public with it, he didn't even talk with them by phone. He had somebody else tell them, no capital punishment, move on here. He's a creep. And when it comes to victims, there is no shoulder. Lynn Abraham, someone like that, victims felt she was in their corner. He's not. He is not in the corner of victims unless a cop is involved, or in this case, that woman security guard over at IHOP. Then Krasner is in their corner. That's the only time. Robert in Bensalem, he's on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Robert, welcome in.
Hey, Dom, Henry, it's good to talk to you guys today. It seems like, this isn't my answer, but it seems like the government was on a bit of a losing streak. Henry mentioned the 18th Amendment prohibition.
Yes.
The 17th was when they changed it so that senators had to be elected instead of appointed by the governor, which was a bad idea. And the 16th was the tax code. So the 16th, 17th, and 18th was a losing streak because those are the only three amendments that were contrary to what the Constitution initially, most of the amendments supported.
Right. That's a good point. And so when you mention that, just an image of Irv Homer came to mind here, Robert, and the creature from Jekyll Island when you mentioned the income tax. Yeah.
I read that book.
Oh,
yes.
God, yes.
But at any rate, while the American car was a really good answer, I think I might have a contender here. I'm going to go with the Washington Generals. They were a basketball team that was started in 1952 partially to honor Dwight D. Eisenhower, and they were the team that the Harlem Globetrotters played.
Yes.
Now, they officially got a win in 1971, and that was the first win they got. It broke a losing streak of 2,495 games, Tom.
That's a really good one. Well, yeah, that is I played basketball a bit. We were down the shore. Roe had a friend. So DJ and Luke were with me. We were playing over, I think it was Margate. Red Klotz was there. You know, the guy with the two-hand set shot. He was the player-coach of the Washington Generals. And the thing that I loved, it's my style of basketball. It was only pickup, but, man, there were no fouls called. You go to the basket there, you might go into an ambulance. So the guy could play.
I heard an interview where they interviewed a guy who played for a long time for the Generals, and he said that he had a lot of fun and they made a lot of money, but that win in 1971 was the biggest memory of his career. So
absolutely,
it's kind of funny, Don. But you guys have a great day.
That
right?
is a really good one. That is a contender. By the way, I think President Trump is right about Time Magazine. Have you seen the new cover celebrating his Gaza peace deal? He's mad because they shot it. Nobody's going to look flattering. They shot it beneath looking up. You know, any kind of baggage you have under your chin there. Oh, man, I'm covering my chin right now and under the neck and all. It looks bad. But Trump said they disappeared my hair. Where is my hair? And it's true by that shot. It looks weird. There's just this little point there. And he doesn't like that the crown they gave him is too small or it's not visible enough. Do not shoot people from looking up underneath. I don't know if anybody's going to look
No,
good
you can't.
with that.
No.
Yeah, and I think they did that in temp. Why do that?
What do they tell you at like school picture day? They're like, tilt your head down, tilt your head down, tilt your head down.
Exactly. Yeah, I would agree. So the hair does look disappeared. I've seen it up close. It's like viaducts, how he does it in the back. But here, he just says that little point, and it looks like there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And I don't think they erased it. I think they shot it from looking up underneath them. Okay. 855-839-1210. Those are all really good. Hit us with that. We're going to hook up with Scott Presler for other developments over in Doylestown briefly. Last time that we talked with him, he had a ton of people coming in. Thanks to MAGA on Twitter. Really made my day saying, thanks to you and Charlie Kirk, meaning me, I voted today with my wife. You know, the thing that we did during the election over in Bucks County, where people got their mail-in ballot there, stood in line, and then handed it in right there. And we're not going to be stopped, despite the heat, despite, people putting up official poll-watching Democrat here. Remember that stuff with the official signs on them? Democrats now resorting to things. This is a great tactic. Boy, I wish Republicans would do this. No, not really. The naked bike riders in Portland having a festival. Do they not know if you're going to do the naked bike ride, it's already preposterous. But some of the bodies of people, it's like you cannot make it up. Oh, my God. And that's got to hurt on bikes, the naked bike ride, the male version particularly. That's the first thing Rose said to me. Well, don't they? Yeah, they know. They're idiots. Come on. We have it here in Philadelphia. But the naked bike ride and dances they're doing, that's not a winning message. 855-839-1210, that's how you get in. You know, if your biggest fear is having your home sit on the market for months and months with no offers, you're not alone. After selling thousands of homes, Diane Giordano has seen it happen again and again. Good homes that don't sell because of bad advice, and it's costing sellers tens of thousands in lost profits. That's why she's hosting a free breakfast seminar for home sellers this Saturday, 9 a.m. in Fort Washington. I'll be there too, talking with you, talking about naked bike rides or whatever comes up. She'll demonstrate the truth about why homes don't sell. From overpricing and poor marketing to bad staging, she's a master at staging a home and how to fix it fast. You'll learn how to attract strong offers in days, not months. Every attendee gets a free copy of Diane's best-selling book, Model Home Mindset, and her brand new book, Transactional Turbulence, all for showing up. Don't let that listing grow stale. Just join us this Saturday morning, October 18th, there in Fort Washington. Here's how you do it. It's free. You just call to register so she knows the list of people coming. We have to figure out how many orange juices and how many of those potatoes. Get out of the way. They have great potatoes here. I'm just telling you. Call 215-576-8666. Or you can reserve your seat now. Visit 215-576-8666.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
If you have Medicaid and are new to Medicare, you may qualify to enroll in a Humana Medicare Advantage dual eligible special needs plan with a lot more benefits like dental, vision, and hearing, along with helpful support when you need it most. Now is the time to see if you qualify to enroll. It only takes a few minutes to find out if you're eligible. Our licensed sales agents are ready to help you understand your options. So this Medicare planning season, we can help you plan well. Learn more at humanaduals.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a dual-eligible special needs HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the state Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense against weather, so don't gamble with it. Hi, I'm Matt with Emmons Roofing and Siding, and at Emmons, we use only the best materials and expert craftsmanship to get your home protected. In fact, as an Owens Corning Platinum contractor, we can offer a lifetime warranty directly from Owens Corning on our workmanship. So whether your roof has storm damage, aging shingles, or it's just time for an upgrade, Emmons has you covered. Call us at 856-556-3229 or visit callemmons.com. From the main line to the shore, from top to bottom, inside and out, at Emmons, we have you covered.
Searching for a new path to wellness? Dr. Molly Fantasia explains how medical hydration therapy can help you reclaim your energy. Listen to Health Watch, Sunday mornings at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Broadcasting live from the Piazza Auto Group studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
All right, Dom Giordano Show. Let's go out there in the field in Doylestown at the old courthouse. You can find him. And some people on Twitter don't like the fact that if you show up, say hello to Scott Presler, he's got a Charlie Kirk Freedom shirt. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with it. I'm wearing one right now. Let's go to Scott there in Doylestown. Hey, Scott, how's it going?
Well, Dom, let's see if everyone listening can hear. Do I have any Trump supporters out here?
Hey, that sounds like a bigger crowd than Mulligan's. What the heck's going on there? Is there a bar there?
Well, I'll tell you, even just an hour ago, when you called me, Dom, the line is growing. People are voting, and I'm looking at a sea of freedom shirts right now for Charlie Kirk in his memory, in his honor.
Charlie!
They're out here celebrating him. People have come in from Montgomery County. They've come in from counties all across the area, even here to Bucks, to be here with us, Dom.
Well, Scott, it's the perfect thing that you're doing today to commemorate him, because it's remembering him in the best way possible, voting, registering to vote, maybe changing some hearts and minds there.
Yes, well, we have changed hearts and minds. I haven't been able to post anything, Dom, because I haven't sat down, but we've at least changed 2 Democrats to Republican today here in Bucks County, right outside the courthouse. 3. I just heard 3 Democrats have changed. So truly, maybe 4. And so Charlie has made an impact, and the ripple effect and the ramifications, I don't even think we'll truly see until a decade has passed by. Young people are creating Turning Point Action chapters. More young people are getting involved. And I would say quite a few people that voted today were college people inspired by Charlie, Dom.
Wow. And Scott, you probably sense that more because you were a friend and you were campaigning with him. I just thought of him mainly. I knew he went to colleges. I knew he did that. I knew he did talk radio. I didn't really, to be honest, know the impact. And we're seeing this because this is sometime after his death. To have this continuing like this today is amazing.
Yes. And I think ultimately people are responding with, again, the theme of ballots, not bullets, peace, not burning things down and acting out in vengeance, etc. We're doing it the peaceful way. Bye. Nice to meet you. And that's how we're going to continue.
Absolutely. And Scott, again, you're at the old courthouse. What's the location over there in Bucks County?
It's 55 East Court Street here in Doylestown. And I will tell you, I had this guy. He was walking down the street, and he kind of said angrily, he was like, "Scott Pressler, you're a..." And then he said, "Boss." And then the whole crowd cheered, because at first I thought he was going to say, "Scott Pressler, you're a bully," or "you're a different word, an expletive." But I tell you, the fact that here in Doylestown, the blue dot, heart of Bucks County, Republicans are coming out en masse, and I have more hope and optimism than ever that we are going to flip Bucks County continuously from blue to red every single election.
Absolutely, Scott. And where do people follow you on Twitter and social media? Where do they go?
At Scott Pressler, SCOTTPRES1SLER. And again, we're out here until 5 o'clock. It's not even 2. Come out to the courthouse. And if you're one of the other 67 counties, go to your elections office and vote in person on demand today. Do it in honor of Charlie. Text 32 people, call them, get them out to vote.
Absolutely. We'll check back with you, Scott, in the 2 o'clock hour. Scott Pressler out there on Court Street, the old courthouse over in Doylestown. And you can get a Freedom shirt that I'm wearing, youtube.com/1210. And I think he has those stickers from Charlie Kirk. So if you want to honor him today, meet Scott Pressler and the gang. And again, just contact him. You can help the race in Jersey, even if you live in Pennsylvania, by calling people. Call people that you have or friends. Remind them. And the main message is it's doable. That's the Matt Rooney message. He's been really good at that. Jersey can be red. I don't mean a long shot. I mean, we're on an even playing field. It's all about turnout now. All right, 855-839-1210. You get on board. David in Lexington, South Carolina. Hi, David.
Hey, Dom and fellas. How y'all doing?
Good. Very good, David.
I'll tell you, as far as droughts go, I'm currently on day 106 of my cheesesteak drought.
Okay.
from being up in Pennsylvania,
yes.
And it's miserable. But I'm going to go with one that's kind of a sad one as well. It's now been 190 years since the United States has last had a balanced, no debt.
Wow.
The end of the year with no debt.
Yeah.
1835.
Wow. Yeah, that is stunning. And again, each year it triples itself, it seems like. That's a good one, David. That is a drought since we've been debt-free. That is the last time. I want to contrast. You hear Scott Presler. I want to play the No Kings guy. Let's contrast Scott Presler, what he's doing out there, impromptu, with the people that you'll see this weekend. What will their message be other than they don't want Trump, Trump's a king? Here is the No Kings organization. This is cut 6. Chief organizer. He sees the protests that we're going to see this weekend in places like Philadelphia, but out there in the I have to get over to Havertown. We get several people showing me stuff of what's going on there. The suburbs of Philadelphia have really lost their mind. They're insulated from the problems, mainly. They don't seem to care that Democrats out there in Delco, for example, raised their taxes by 23% last year. And apparently, according to a piece by Wally Nunn at Broad and Liberty, they're poised to do something like that again. How much of this can you take? What is it that is driving these people? They're no longer just liberals in the suburbs. It's now very progressive. Well, here's the leader of the No Kings organization.
And it's also funny that they can't actually say No Kings. They've got to make some other name up for it because they understand it. They say No Kings. How is that objectionable? Right. How could anybody say that that's anything other than the most American thing since apple pie? But I do think we have to hold two things in our head at the same time. One, anybody who's been to a protest this year that's been organized by Indivisible or No Kings has seen moms and grandmas and kids and dogs and funny chants, and it was a feeling of joyous power out in the streets. And on the other hand, we've got an authoritarian regime who wants to crack down on free speech. So we should show up in force, and we should take care. We should attend the security training briefings. We should attend the how to de-escalate briefings and trainings. We should do that work so that if anything happens at these protests, we're ready to do it. But if your First Amendment rights are under attack and you decline to show up because of those threats, you don't have First Amendment rights. So if anybody is out there watching this and is like, well, I don't know, I've never been to a protest, or I'm hearing a lot of gnarly stuff in this regime, and maybe I won't come out. Let me tell you, it's going to be fun, it's going to be powerful, and it's going to be part of history.
What about gnarly? Dude.
Gnarly. Yeah, it's going to be not gnarly. He's saying it's not gnarly. So
Jeff Spicoli's going to be there, man. It's gnarly,
right.
Bro.
He's going to be Mr. Hand. He's going to be ordering pizzas, these people in the suburbs. My goodness. All right, so that's the No Kings versus, I think Scott Presler's pretty joyous, the stuff that he does. It's a lot of fun. A couple people sent me an email and saying, why is Scott in Doylestown again today? All right, it's Charlie Kirk's birthday today. He would have been 32. Scott honoring him by having people voting by mail. Remember that? You can vote by mail and hand it in there at the, quasi-polling places. This one in Doylestown, but it's happening all over the country. People are doing this in his honor, particularly in Jersey. Hopefully there's a lot of early voting or voting by mail in this manner that's going on for Charlie Kirk. I think early voting starts on October 25th. I have to look that up. All right, phone lines, 855-839-1210. Great side question today from Henry. Coming off, the Cubs in 2016 finally won the World Series. It was 108 years approximately. A long drought. We've had some really good ones. A long period of it not happening. You heard David's, something negative when the last time this. And I'm betting it's almost existential with me. Look, Trump, the message yesterday with Israel, I subscribe to this in my own life. Look at some of the guests we've gotten on. Look at some of the situations. I mean, just the other day, example, getting Jack Chattarelli and Scott Presler together right there at the moment at Mulligan's in the middle of everybody in the world wanting them for the rally, etc. It can happen. True. But what will it take to have a Republican mayor of Philadelphia? I would dare say a conservative even. Last time that it was relatively close, Sam Katz against John Street, who was completely unlikable at that point. And people in Port Richmond and Bridesburg did not come out to vote. They were convinced, no, Republican can't win. And I think Katz lost by only 7,000 votes. Certainly doable from those areas. So the message in Jersey is, with people, you got to believe, first, it's possible to get into the game. And it definitely is. Mikey Sherrill, they're propping up with everybody in the world. Jack Ciattarelli's got a lot of momentum and energy. And I don't know, the Virginia race looks like it's tightening big time. I thought that race may have been over. But I don't think so now, and it's due to that Attorney General, and it's due to the focus. Democrats still, I'm on several of their national services. What is wrong with these Republicans in Virginia? They're spending 57% is the number they have up of their advertising dollar, calling out the Democrat for governor, Abigail, for backing trans rights. What's up with them? Didn't you get the last election? America cares about this. Stop doing it, and we won't be talking, what about this, that, and the other? You know, what about this? It's not right. People cannot believe they're still standing by this, particularly in sports. And it energizes people not paying attention. They're doing what? Yeah, they're endorsing that. That's what they're about. And Josh Shapiro has endorsed it also. So let's see how this continues to play. I'd spend more than 57%. I'd be spending 75 or 80. So every person knew. Scott Jennings put it beautifully. If you support that, I can't listen to you on budget or anything else because you're nuts. You are just craving. And I know people bring up, I don't lead with the bathroom part. I lead with the sports part because that is very important to me. And if anybody has a daughter or cares about competitive sports at all, seeing these guys prance around, winning overwhelmingly, people are not going to stomach that. And when they have an opportunity, a vehicle to try to stop that, voting, that's what they're going to do. And that's what happened in the last election. Kamala Harris learned that the hard way. Democrats can't give it up, though. And Virginia is that. And also, they are standing by that candidate for Attorney General with all those group chats that wanted to kill people. You put those together, and again, people are looking for a vehicle nonviolently in our system to say enough with this. And that vehicle is voting. That's the way to do it. All right, 855-839-1210. Get in on the side question. We got Dom's Money Melody in the next hour. Mikey Sherrill still playing out this Jack Ciattarelli killed people by opioids. That's the best that she has at this point. It's lame. It's not working. And it is defamatory. All right, let's talk about my friends at Martin Water Conditioning. They're celebrating their 52nd anniversary with their biggest savings event of the year. Now through the end of October, save on better water for your entire family. The Giordanos, you know that we've enjoyed crystal clear drinking water in our home for years now, thanks to Martin Water Conditioning. I remember when Dwayne came over and did the test. They're thrilled to show you. All right. Here's your water. Here's the after with the conditioning. Oh, my goodness. Nobody is as passionate about water. Save up to $500 on select systems for your home. If you want to improve your drinking water, Martin's is offering $100 off Connecticut's K5 drinking system. Save $40 off the UV sterilizers. Special 24-month financing is available to those who qualify. Already own a water conditioning system? Enjoy exclusive offers on salt and filters when visiting one of their central Pennsylvania locations. For details, call Martin Water today or visit martinwater.com. That's martinwater.com. The sale ends October 31st. Give your family the gift of better water this fall. martinwater.com.
Hi, friends. This is Kathy Barnett. On October 25th, we're bringing the Seed and Roots Summit to Philadelphia, talking about faith, family, and the future of work in America. CEOs, Heritage Foundation, pastors, even voices you don't expect, like Killer Mike, 3-time Grammy winner, will be in the room discussing our kids, our jobs, and our country. Seats are going fast, and October 25th is right around the corner. Get your ticket at kathybarnett.com, kathybarnett.com. Be in the room where it happens.
With the crisp fall air just around the corner, let's talk about your fireplace. That's right, you heard me. Do you have an old, drafty, or smelly fireplace? For over 30 years, Rettinger Fireplace has been transforming fireplaces in the tri-state area into beautiful, authentic, and efficient systems easily operated by remote control. Want to love your fireplace again? Call 855-GET-RET to schedule your free consultation or visit RettingerFireplace.com. Choose Rettinger Fireplace, where details make the difference.
Dawn Stensland here. Kick off your fall on a high note. You still have time to find yourself that new certified or pre-owned vehicle from my friends at the Piazza Auto Group. Did you know Piazza carries more than 1,600 pre-owned vehicles at any given time? And not just the brands you've heard me mention like Honda, Acura, Mazda, Hyundai, and Volkswagen, but almost any other brand you can imagine. Now that's selection. Visit PiazzaAutogroup.com, search Piazza's pre-owned inventory, or for a dealer nearest you. Make sure you tell them Dawn sent you.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
It's the perfect time to get inside a new Toyota at Tri-County Toyota. Right now, lease a new 2025 RAV4 LE all-wheel drive for just $309 a month for 36 months. Or buy and get 4.75% financing for 60 months. Or check out a new 2025 Tacoma 4-wheel drive double cab SR5 and lease for $239 a month for 36 months. Or get rates as low as 2.99% for 48 months. Visit us online at TriCountyToyota.com to see more.
Debt payments keeping you up at night? Credit cards, medical bills, personal loans. If you owe more than $10,000 in unsecured debt, we can help you settle for less. At JG Wentworth, many clients cut their debt by up to 50% before fees, potentially saving thousands of dollars. Even if your credit is damaged, we can help. And remember, you don't pay us a dime unless we reduce your debt. Call 877-CASH-NOW. The call is free. The consultation is free. And the bigger your debt, the more we can help you save. Act now. If you owe $10,000 or more, call 877-CASH-NOW. That's 877-CASH-NOW. Call right now. Your path toward financial freedom starts today with J.G. Wentworth. 877-CASH-NOW. Results vary. Not all debts qualify. Debt resolution impacts credit and may increase what you owe. Average savings before fees, 43%. 25% after fees. J.G. Wentworth does not pay debts or provide legal, tax, or credit repair services.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
Okay, Dom Giordano show. Great side question today. A long time dry spell, a drought. J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, just doing an interview in which he says, tables will turn someday, threatens to prosecute ICE agents once Democrats get back in power. It is stunning, is it not? Just the Democrat Party, they're all out assault up and down the line, be it Krasner, be it what happened in Boston, just going after police, hundreds of the mob, and no support from the public officials there. Pritzker, we're going to prosecute. What are you going to prosecute ICE agents for once Democrats? Let's put that up for a vote. Yeah, we're going to take back power, so we're going to prosecute ICE agents. They are, in the main, anti-law enforcement. The guy will be the mayor of New York to fund the police up and down the line. They already have all kinds of problems. Mondani has agreed to an interview tomorrow with Martha McCallum, who I think that is a poor choice for him because McCallum does not get heated, comes across very well, and will grill him on who he really is, which is obvious. Now, whether they care in New York about who he is. They may want a commie. They may want a socialist on paper and really a communist. That may go along with the voters in New York. He's got a 13-point lead over Cuomo. Is this an indicator, though, he's uneasy about that? Again, I don't wish the worst for New York, but if this guy gets elected, New York is the face of things. It will be unrelenting heading into the midterms. By the way, nice touch. J.D. Vance is pretty good on social media. Yesterday, he tweeted out to Elizabeth Warren, the president did this big deal, I wanted you to know, with Israel on Indigenous Peoples Day, just for you, Elizabeth. Very nice. I remember when she ran, and remember the DNA test only came up with, what was it, 100th of 1%, some minuscule thing of Native American ethnic or blood or however you want to put it. And yet, she still ran for office with all that baggage. So Elizabeth Warren, nicely played by J.D. Vance. All right, we do have Dom's Money Melody coming up for a great prize. 855-839-1210. We'll keep the side question going. One more each time we go there. A little bit later in the show, Henry, would be good, maybe 2:30-ish or so. Every time we go to Scott Presler over there in Bucks County, it seems the crowd gets bigger, more engaged. Today is the anniversary, the commemoration for Charlie Kirk, who would have been 32 today, only 32. That number is remarkable. And what Scott's doing is encouraging people all over the area to go to their local, shall we call it, election offices and vote by mail, in person, which is a great thing to do. And by the way, if you stop over there, he'll give you a Freedom T-shirt. They look very nice. They're well made. Think you'll enjoy meeting him in the crowd that's out there. Think a lot of our listeners are. All right, phone lines, 855-839-1210.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
There's a reason that potato chips don't come in a clear bag.
There's only 8 chips in this bag.
That's why. It's only about 2/3 full. The rest is air. It's a lot like opening up your 401k at retirement. You get about 2/3 of it, and the rest goes to Uncle Sam. Jim Cipriotti at the Retire Ready Financial Group can help. His tax mapping process can help forecast what your tax bill will be in the future, and that way you can build a strategy now to potentially decrease your tax bill in retirement. In other words, more for you and less for Uncle Sam. Call today for your complimentary retirement tax mapping report, 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415. Or find them online at retirereadyfg.com and get Uncle Sam's greedy hands out of your retirement.
Hey, you've had enough.
With a complimentary tax mapping report from Jim Cipriotti. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly. This service is available based on Medicaid eligibility. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 267-692-3782. That's 267-692-3782. To get started today, you get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782, or go to freedomcare.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
All right, it is Tom time. Tom Giordano Show, 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. A lot of controversy. By the way, I'm just seeing this bounties on Fox placed on ICE agents in the Chicago area. It is unbelievable. And there's newer video out there showing, new video than we previously saw before, of the guy who firebombed the governor's mansion in Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro. And the guy has pleaded guilty today. I think it was this morning. He's getting 25 to 50 years of a sentence, which is minimal. He ought to be in there for life. But the critical thing is we still don't know, and Republicans should press more. How in the world did this happen, and how did he get away? And also, the media ought to be talking more about Cody Balmer and his motivation. The Inquirer at least does print it. He went after him, after Shapiro and his family, knowing he could have killed kids and everything else, because he didn't like Shapiro's stance. And he did it on a Jewish holiday, as I remember. He didn't like his stance on Gaza, the Palestinian people, and the killing in Gaza. And that's factually has said it several times. So why does Shapiro want to run away from that? You know the reason. Because the Democrat Party still, even at this point, is trying to somehow or another continue to make the case for Hamas. What's going on in Gaza as Hamas lines up people who are dissident to them, and they're executing them. So are they going to start to say, hey, I thought Trump had the 20? Yes, that's what they're going to try to do. Look, this isn't going to be built in a day. These are animals that we're dealing with here with Hamas. It's obvious. It's shocking that they let the hostages go. We know any number of reasons of things that Trump has done here to put together something that seems to be impossible. And that Iran has gotten the message from Trump, at least for now. These things don't go away easily in the Middle East. But Democrats, by and large, are standing down, particularly President Obama, not giving credit on this. The Biden people trying to take credit. And the whole deal with hoping that this fails. Well, 20 points. We're only on number 1 or number 2. Yeah, those are going to be, look, I'm still cynical about this. You know, are we going to see this settled in that way? Very doubtful. But getting the hostages out, giving a new start, stopping the war, at least major ceasefire at this point, all of that is good for all parties. It is historic. Now, turning this around in some manner where life goes on in a different way in the Middle East, very difficult. And you know the reason why. The various elements there envy Israel. They sit on top of oil. They have great natural resources, and they can't make it work. They're losers. Trump has turned any number of these Arab nations into their self-interest to be helpful. That'll help. But as far as the grand part of this, that would be shocking. By the way, Cheryl Hines has a new book out. We're going to try to see how big the book tour is. She was on The View today, quite heated over the vaccination stuff with scientists like Joyless Joy Behar, etc. And there wasn't really a debate. They went for the worst stuff with Kennedy. They were talking about the worm in his head and everything else. It is amazing. And I give Cheryl Hines credit for going on there. We'll see if she does any more media coming off all this stuff. All right, let's go to Joe in Columbus. Joe is in on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Joe, good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, Dom. Hey, Dom, I if you can, or if you would, I would like you to thank Scott Pressler for my two boys. They proactively took it upon themselves and approached me with, they went online and got their own vote by mail ballots and filled them out. And I think we have Scott Pressler to thank for that, because they didn't know who Scott Pressler was a year ago. And they filled them out, and I actually went to our county seat and I delivered them the applications for the mail-in ballots. But that caught me by surprise this morning.
Oh, yeah, well, he's coming up again. He'll up around 10:30. There's a mob out there with him, and I will, Joe, I just wrote it down. I'll tell him that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't already know, which he should, I want him to know the young adult impact that he's making. Because that, my one son's away at college. My other son, he works for Merrill Lynch, and they both, I guess they collaborated together and they printed up the applications on their own, filled them out, and presented them to me both this morning. Said, Dad, can you drop this off at the county building in Mount Holly? I said, absolutely. So things are happening, Dom. And
well, yeah, and Pressler has a book. It'll be out in February, I believe, Joe. So you know what that means. Politics and Pints. Here we come.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're good. They're good to attend. They really are. My side answer is we haven't been on it we're approaching 55 years, and that is the gold standard. We went off the gold standard right around 1970, 1971.
Richard Nixon, yes.
Yep, yes.
And I'm trying to remember why we went off the gold standard. I've read about Nixon a lot. I don't know what the rationale was.
Did we ever find out what was in Fort Knox?
No, and I'm still waiting for Trump to go to Fort Knox. That's on the to-do list, Joe. Now, there's all conspiracy stories that it's like I would take a Geraldo, patch it up, and go to Fort Knox with a Geraldo to see what's in there.
Yeah, or have a Dom Day in Kentucky.
Well, there we go. Yeah, Scott Jennings can make it happen. Rand Paul, we certainly could. Thank you, Joe. No, they've never gone to Fort Knox. Not that I do think gold is there, but that's the idea. Why have we not gone to Fort Knox yet? The Argentinian president is at the White House today. This guy's kind of an interesting figure, to put it mildly, along with Trump. Oh, Henry, I didn't know you were working on this. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Here's a little bit from The View with Cheryl Hines. Which one? It's the first one.
Well, which one do you want to start with? Start with Joy Behar or Sunny Hostin?
Well, let's start with Behar because I have to work up. Look, I am solid on this. The most objectionable person on The View. At least the other, Joy Behar and all, no, she's not a genius, but, she's obnoxious. But Sunny Hostin, I'm a lawyer. I actually argued a case before the Supreme Court. Oh, my goodness. Can you see lawyers? Yeah, we're taking back. Let's get in the ring with Sunny Hostin. All right, here's Joy Behar with Cheryl Hines, the wife of RFK Jr.
When you say that they...
I think she's
Hold
there.
on. I forgot to turn the sound on here.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Yeah, here we go.
There we go.
are pro a vaccine, it seems as though Bobby and Trump are casting doubt on the efficacy of the vaccine, which makes Americans very nervous. So that's when you say that they are pro a vaccine, it seems as though Bobby and Trump are casting doubt on the efficacy of the vaccine, which makes Americans very nervous. So that's the problem that we're having.
Okay, I understand. I understand that. And it's interesting because I don't know if you saw 60 Minutes just did a piece about the vaccine injury compensation program.
Yeah.
So people that have had vaccine injuries can be compensated if they can prove it. And they have paid out $5.4 billion for vaccine injuries. So my question is, can we do better?
Is that all vaccines or just the COVID vaccine?
It's all vaccines.
It's all vaccines.
As far as I know. As far as I know.
Okay.
But so the question is, yes to vaccines. Yes, they are important, and they are an important part of our health care. Can we do better? Can we make them safer? Can we make them, can we listen to parents who say, my child got the vaccine and changed and stopped hitting markers, stopped developing the way they were developing? Can we listen to people when they say that instead of saying, you're crazy?
I agree with that, but you want to listen. But you want to listen to.
You want to listen to science, the scientists. Joy Behar, let's listen to science. Can you imagine if people in the view of science ran over them? Would they know what's happening? By the way, speaking of Alec Baldwin, I've been watching the footage of that Newsmax got. Rainy day in the Hamptons, and he's trying to pass on the side of the road a truck to the right of him at high speed. There's no road there. I guess he's going to go kind of off-road, then jump back in front of him, and he slams right into a tree. My God, this maniac.
You leave us no choice, listeners.
We have to talk about it.
Greg Stocker was manning the post here, that famous clip. Interesting. When he had no callers, had no idea.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Greg was here. They were doing it out of New York, and he was quarterbacking it. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I started reading the Chinese menu.
Yeah. They thought that
just waiting for callers.
Alec Baldwin would be good to do a talk show. Man. All right, here is now the insufferable, the worst on there. Here's Sonny Hostin with Cheryl Hines.
Spread a lot of misinformation, a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion, and I think it's just a very dangerous thing. I say it with the utmost respect.
Some of it's good, and some of it's not. That's the point.
Listen, we all have different views here.
Yes.
And when you say, misinformation, disinformation, we could go back to COVID when...
He's connecting circumcision to autism.
May I finish?
Please.
When Fauci were saying when you get the vaccine, you cannot transmit COVID. It will stop COVID. And that was disinformation, misinformation.
We were also still learning about it. It was a novel virus we've never encountered before.
Right.
Because now the doctors will acknowledge that
and Dr. Fauci has a medical degree.
At the time, they were censoring Bobby because Bobby said, where's the science to show us this? And there wasn't any. But people attacked him and said, you're wrong. So it's like, let's take a step back. I know that's your opinion, and that's okay.
All right. So The View, though, notice Whoopi Goldberg, there must have been an agreement. Whoa, let her talk. Rare there.
Yeah, they both jumped in. Even Joy was like, hey, let her finish.
Yeah. I think this is interesting to get her on. I'd love to have her on. Larry David, every time we have Dershowitz on. By the way, one quick Dershowitz cut since we have it. Now, Larry David goes after him. This is Dershowitz cut 8. Now, he has said he'll vote for Republicans this time. He's a liberal guy, brilliant guy, probably the smartest that I've ever had on radio, in top 3 anyhow. Here is Dershowitz saying, I don't like the Obamas as people.
Now it's to the point where I do not like them. I think of them as bad people.
I don't like them either. I have to tell you that. I like them very much. I had, many social endeavors with him. He invited me to the White House over and over again, including to the Medal of Honor for Shimon Peres, a dear friend of mine who was the Prime Minister of Israel. But I don't like them as people. I remember Michelle Robinson when she was a student, and she was very radical. Obama was not. I mean, he was known as a kind of middle-of-the-roader when he was at Harvard Law School. And I think during the beginning of his first term, he was a little bit more of that. But once he was reelected, you're absolutely right. He became, his true self came out. He's not a nice person. He's not a nice person. He's a smart person. He's very smart, but he's not a nice person.
All right, is it better to be smart or nice? All right, 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All that we need you to do is push pound 1210, get in on the side question and everything else. We'll go back to Scott Presler maybe around 2:30 for the finale. You can get over there. He's at Court Street. Get your Charlie Kirk Freedom T-shirt. These are very nice. Got a lot of compliments wearing it today out here. And also vote if you're in Bucks County or wherever, whatever polling office you can go to. Vote in person by mail. First, though, let's get into one of our favorites.
Money Melody.
Where has all the money gone?
Every day around this time. Today, you win a pair of tickets to see Joe Conklin with the City Rhythm Orchestra. Philly Sports put to music. It is a lavish, unbelievable. If you haven't seen it yet, come on. Saturday, November 22nd at Cardinal O'Hara High School in Springfield, Pennsylvania, Delaware County. Why do we have the two Springfields all the time? I'm okay with the one in Delaware County. The Springfield and Montgomery counties got problems.
Lesser Springfield.
Remember the lesser, thank you, that's right. The lesser Springfield where we had a lot of showdowns. They hate the cops there. People that run that, they don't like the cops. For tickets, visit joeconklin.com. Henry?
Yeah, Dom. So today we are talking about all-time droughts or dry spells, if you will. So naturally, I tried to find a band that went on a hiatus for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I stumbled upon one that took a hiatus, I feel like, at a weird spot in their careers. This is a band that at the height of their powers in the 80s were indulging in drugs and alcohol, as, you know, rock bands in the 80s did back then. And I would have thought it would have torn them apart for sure at the height of their powers. Turns out it didn't. I don't know how it didn't, despite all they went through in the 80s. Mm-hmm. It didn't tear them apart up until 2015 when they decided to take a break. Took a break for 4 years, came back in 2019. I'm going to play you this very famous 80s band that somehow didn't break up at the height of their powers. I'm going to play you their cover of the Beastie Boys' Fight for Your Right. I want to know this 80s band who didn't take a break until much later. I want to know who it is covering the Beastie Boys here. Let's take a listen. And boy, did this band like to party, Dom.
All right. Well, I think the Stones are the all-time, but I don't know if anybody else rates a rock band as crazier than that.
We'll see when we get the answer. We'll get your
okay. All right.
Your opinion then.
All right. 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. Go off to see Joe Conklin. Also, coming up, our buddy Bill Lawrence has a very good summary and a picture. Tomorrow we're going to have on the attorney, we believe, one of them for Ellen Greenberg, the Greenberg family. Remember, she allegedly, according to Philadelphia, stabbed herself 23 times in all kinds of ways and committed suicide. And it's a picture of her with first graders. The medical examiner says she did it. Why? She was afraid of being found out of inflating grades for first graders. And the big picture part of it for you, Josh Shapiro is in the mix on this, and I'll explain why after we get a winner here on Dom's Money Melody.
When the market reaches all-time highs, investors who try to sell high are met with the same excuses from their broker. You're in it for the long haul. Stay the course. Don't sell now, you'll miss out on opportunity. But crash-proof consumers have not missed out on the recent market highs.
Kathleen Rocket from Langhorne, PA.
I haven't missed out on growth opportunity this year. As a matter of fact, we've capitalized on it with Crash Proof. With the Crash Proof retirement system, we've gotten over 10% this year. The market can still go down, but I don't lose any of that money. And it's no fees charged to that. I'm getting the benefits of the stock market, but I don't have the downsides to it. It's not too good to be true. We're living proof of it. It works.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at the William Penn Inn on November 5th. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Cancer. If you've been diagnosed recently, it doesn't have to be as devastating as it may seem. Chances are you didn't just get cancer recently. What you need to do is visit the team at Innovative Medical Associates. Dr. Molly Fantasia, the PhD doctor and founder of Innovative Medical Associates, has helped hundreds over the years with her unique hydration protocols geared specifically to cancer support. The team is comprised of Dr. Molly Fantasia and her doctors, plus her outstanding nursing staff. With almost 30 years in practice, Innovative Medical Associates can help you navigate the journey through cancer and beyond. To set up your initial complimentary consultation, contact Innovative Medical Associates at 856-489-0505, 856-489-0505, or visit their website, innovativemedicalassociates.com. That's innovativemedicalassociates.com. Make that appointment, and you'll be on your way to treating cancer as only Innovative Medical Associates knows how.
I'm Jalen Hurst here for Window Nation. When I'm on the field, I'm always looking for a window of opportunity. If you're looking for a window of opportunity to replace windows in your home, now's the time.
Now until October 31st, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. Trust Window Nation. Get your free estimate now at 866-90Nation or visit windownation.com. Tell them you heard it on WPHT.
Don't pay more than you have to for new windows. Visit windownation.com.
Hugh Douglas here, and I know by now you've heard of our new drink, the new Jack Daniel's Tennessee Blackberry Whiskey. It's the real deal, folks. It's bold, vibrant blackberry softened with creamy vanilla, toasted oak, and just a hint of honey. It will be the touchdown of your tailgate this season. Jack Daniel's Tennessee Blackberry, now available at your local fine wine and good spirits. Celebrate responsibly.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Miss any of the Dom Giordano program? Download and follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app.
It's Dom Money Melody.
Where's all the money gone?
Show me the money.
That is right. Every day around 2:13, 2:14 or so for a great prize, Henry cooks up something. I'm glad there's no cover band and finish today, but
I thought about it.
Yeah, and this is a band that plays into the side question. A long drought here is what we are looking for. Listen to the clue. Let's try Mike somewhere in the wilds of Pennsylvania. Hey, Mike, welcome in. What's your answer today, Mike?
Good day, Dom. I was going to go with Motley Crue.
Ah, it is Motley Crue. Those heavy metal groups I confuse. Although I do have my street cred of interviewing Metallica.
Oh, yeah.
When they came to play here at, what was it then? I forget what the designation was, but the loudness, I was 100 yards away and I wouldn't go any closer. I mean, these people that were 5 feet from the stage, it was outside, it was hard to believe.
Yeah, they're not listening right now because they can't.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you really are going to go deaf from that. That's how bad it is. It really, the sound, you can just feel it. And I was nervous about that. And people were right down there. It was ridiculous. But imagine me with all these guys with the, what's that hat type of thing?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It looks like a knit hat type of thing, half on and half off. A lot of these reporters had that. I didn't have a suit on. I remember that. I knew enough to do that with Metallica. So, yeah.
It's the least you can
I
do.
wish I had the sound of that. Yeah. Tell me, Metallica.
Tell me, James Hetfield. Tell me, Lars.
Did I have any name? No, nothing. Okay, so we have a winner, Henry. Any more to add on that?
No, I just thought it was funny that, when they were, just crazed out of their minds, they didn't take a break for a little. No, wait until 30 years after their height.
All right.
Take a break.
A story we've been on, and tomorrow, because it has big significance in a lot of ways, let me piece them out. Our buddy Bill Lawrence Online, has this, again, yesterday, the medical examiner, the arrogance, they finally were forced to do a new report on Ellen Greenberg. Now, this happened January 26th. Well, she died on that day, 2011, in her Manayunk apartment. She had 22 stab wounds. I think the medical examiner says she found more, but so what? Including wounds, 10, to her back and head. There were bruises in various states of healing on her body. She was engaged to this NBC producer who found the body. The death was initially ruled a homicide, then changed to suicide by the assistant medical examiner. And then Greenberg's parents, who are very determined and apparently wealthy, rejected that, and they have fought this battle as any great parents would over these 14 years. This medical examiner operates under the premise, and Henry, or Andrew, if you could find this, if you between calls, Google it. I'd like to have the full 32 pages if we can. I want to see the exact language in the medical examiner's report of the premise, which I have here from Lawrence, and I've seen it too, that this young woman, and I'm looking at the picture of her with her first grade class, that she was so disturbed and anxious that she was about ready to be found out. This is what they're going on. That she had inflated the grades of first graders, not because of corruption or anything. I guess that just, it was thought she might be too easy on the way she was grading. And she would stab herself in this manner, kill herself over that anxiety. That appears to be the theory of the medical examiner. So how does Josh Shapiro come into this? Well, Bill Lawrence points out, several people have, that in 2019, they asked the city's district attorney's office, headed by Larry Krasner, to review the case. Krasner then sent it to Josh Shapiro, Attorney General. Shapiro took it because Krasner had represented the Greenbergs. Get it? Conflict of interest. Shapiro sat on it despite this big media controversy. And thank God for these parents, the great attorneys. We've had them on a couple times, that they have their doggedness 14 years after the fact. And just getting Philadelphia, and these are well-heeled, connected people, mourning for their daughter, to issue a medical examiner's report. The arrogance and it just reeks of it. She was that anxious, is the theory, and she killed herself, committed suicide in this manner because of the grade inflation that was happening with first graders, and she would be found out. My God. And again, why did Josh Shapiro sit on it? That's been the question forever. That's why this has broader significance. But it also has significance because they have found other medical examiners to say, are you kidding me? Suicide here? That's why this case goes on. It illustrates once again the arrogance of a place like Philadelphia. These people heal to no one until you have to get the federal government involved with them. They at least got the report, but I'm telling you, this is the theory. Guys, if we can find that somewhere in the report, I just want to read it aloud. You don't need all 32 pages.
I'm going through it.
Yeah, just going through the part of the theory. Stabbing yourself in the head and the back and all that stuff, and you do it 22 times, is that possible? And their theory is it was going to be so bad that we had this issue of inflated grades. All right, I am coming to you on the side question. Great one today. All-time drought, all-time dry spell for somebody or some entity. We're going to hook up one more time, though. Charlie Kirk's birthday, he would have been 32 today, with the great Scott Presler out there, apparently pretty big crowds coming out to honor Charlie Kirk. Show up and vote. If you're a resident in Bucks County, you have some big things to vote on. Of course, we have the 3 people to vote no for retention at the rogue Supreme Court of Pennsylvania. How many different ways do we have to tell you the reasons for that? But you also have Fred Herron, and you also have Jen Shoren running for DA and Fred for sheriff. These are big races because it's the last bastion of law enforcement. Well, I think Steele is fine over in Montgomery County. But, by and large in the suburbs now, this is a crapshoot as far as actual government that you can count on. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. You've heard me talk about Chapman Windows, Doors, and Siding, how much I love the work they've done in my home. You already know by now if I needed windows, doors, or siding, I'd only trust the Chapman team. But you may not know Chapman also does roofs. That's right. The same trusted family-owned company that has been serving our community for more than 30 years can replace your roof, too. And they do exceptional work. It just makes sense to have one expert team handle your entire exterior, your roof, siding, windows, doors, all working together beautifully and built to last. The Chapman team truly cares. They take the time to listen, explain your options, deliver high-quality craftsmanship with every detail. That's the Chapman difference. And with financing available, your home improvement project can be easier and more affordable than you think. So if you or somebody you know needs a new roof, windows, doors, siding, or shutters, call. You can text 610-431-8898, ChapmanWindowsDoors.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Hey, this is Larry Steiners with Investor Schooling. Listen, I know sometimes you worry about coming to see me because you don't want to invest in real estate, because you don't want to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants. I'm going to teach you a way that you don't have to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants, or even own any real estate and invest in real estate at the same time. You want to learn this, so go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday, and I promise you, no toilets, no trash, no tenants.
Looking for the confidence to walk away from the 9 to 5? Find out how with Joe Yakovich on The Heart of Your Money, Saturday evenings at 5 and Sunday mornings at 9, right here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
The
man accused of trying to kill Governor Shapiro and his family has pleaded guilty and will spend at least 25 years in prison. How will the city use AI going forward? That will be the focal point of a Philadelphia City Council hearing this week. And the Sixers are bringing back their old mascot, Hip Hop.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
Weather sponsored by First Harvest Credit Union.
The nasty stormy conditions of today should ease tomorrow. Some sprinkles in the morning, but the high will get up to 68. We'll get to 66 on Wednesday with a little more sun. More sun and complete sun on Thursday and Friday with a high of 64.
Harvest the rewards of smart banking at First Harvest Credit Union. Open a growth checking account and earn as high as 2% annual percentage yield while enjoying flexible access to funds. Visit firstharvestcu.com/growth checking for details. Membership restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
Broadcasting live from the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
All right, Tom Giordano Show. Welcome in, everyone. 855-839-1210. You get on board. Hopefully we'll catch up with Scott Presler from the wilds of Doylestown, and I'll get you the findings from the so-called medical examiner. Grade inflation at the first grade level, and as a result of that, the anxiety associated with that, that's why she would kill herself by stabbing herself, even in the back and the head. 22 times plus, it appears to be. There's something very, very wrong with this. It's gone on and on and on. And it's got a major player that sat on this, Josh Shapiro. And this medical examiner in Philadelphia, they had to force this forever to make that happen, comes up with this. It's insulting, to put it mildly, in my view. You know, I'd have to see the specifics of what was going to be the big outing there that would propel someone to suicide. My God. This town, this one-horse town of progressives and Democrats, that's what the corruption is. All right, Scott's on Court Street. I think he said 55 Court Street over there in Doylestown. You can still get your Charlie Kirk T-shirt. Say hello to him. We'll get him on, I'm sure, before the end of the show for a wrap-up. And today, Charlie Kirk's widow, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian award, goes way back to JFK, who changed it from Truman to that. And usually it's given to celebrities, political cronies. Here's someone whose impact is still going forward massively. All right, Gary in Newtown is next on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Gary, welcome in.
Hey, Tom, how are you? That's a pretty heavy way for a lead-in for Gary from Newtown, I got to tell you.
Well, this case, Gary, with all that's going on in the world, we've been on this so many times. Can you imagine the insult to these parents? She did it because of grade inflation with first graders.
It's preposterous, and anybody in the right mind knows it's not true. So is she friendly with the Clintons, maybe?
Yeah, well, the first thing I think of is that Josh Shapiro involved, who sat on it, and this will come up when he runs for president, and the more evidence is out there. I'm not saying he did anything illegal, but he did sit on this and not allow it. That's what the allegation is, to move forward in any way. Imagine Krasner handing it off to him, and now we have a presidential player caught up in this to some degree.
It's disgusting. It's totally disgusting.
Yeah.
I was going to go with a historical reference for a drought, and do you mind if I change it to something that's a little bit lighthearted and comical?
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
We can use somebody fictitious, right?
Sure.
I'm going to go with Steve Carell as Andy Stitzer in the 40-year-old version. That is one hell of a drought.
Absolutely. That is a good one. I know you were going to go with George Washington in the Continental Army before they won a battle. Yes, I think it was a pretty long drought. It was forever there. 855-839-1210. You get on board. But to the point I'm making with Gary, that's what the medical examiners report. And it took parents that are relentless in this, great attorneys, money, resources, to bring it to them finally have to be compelled to issue a report of their finding. They have experts that have found, no, are you kidding me that this was a suicide? But when I saw this morning that the rationale, the theory, you always have to have a theory. Well, why would she do something like this in the middle of this, et cetera, was, well, the medical examiner, the backstory. Henry, do you have that in front of you? Any of the? I know we have printing problems here, right? I know it's always an issue. Of what does she explicitly say was the issue around the grade thing?
Let's see. To summarize the entirety of the report, Ellen Greenberg was a young woman suffering from anxiety at the time of her death. The anxiety appeared mostly to be due to her work as a teacher. She was specifically worried that the grades she needed to submit on the day of her death would indicate that she had previously given inflated grades to her students. She expressed this anxiety about her grades to her friends, co-workers, and her fiancé in the hours leading up to her death. She was under the care of a psychiatrist for this anxiety. While her recent change in medications had helped with the insomnia associated with her anxiety, she did not survive long enough to address the anxiety itself. Thus, she had an increase in energy to act on her anxious thoughts.
Okay. And yes, it doesn't seem that last part like there's a lot of medical evidence there. But the theory, I'm right, is, and I'd like more precision, she was afraid she was submitting these grades and they were going to see the grades were too high. So that seems to be what this medical examiner is saying.
Yeah.
And that would have been problematic.
God forbid first graders.
First graders in this. And that in her mind, that would be enough to commit suicide over. Now, look, when people get to a dark place, et cetera, we know there could be a million. I know all that. We all know that. But after all this, particularly when the family has brought in some of the best experts, and I'm pretty sure you're going to hear one of the lawyers with me again tomorrow. And Henry, you think they were in court today of something around this?
Yeah, their hearing was at 1 today. So.
Okay. We'll find out with that hearing. And look, they're not going to relent on this. And again, Philadelphia, getting an answer from them is just, I have a simple thing. We have a press slot here. We have a press zone. I come out last week, Henry, I think you know this.
Mm-hmm.
And all the cars are ticketed there that are in the press zone. And I know some of them, they're fellow co-workers and all this. And every one of them had our press zone pass that we have that we're allowed to be there on the dashboard.
Yeah, and hard to miss those press passes, too. They're quite large.
Exactly. And we got a ticket, mine says, for being overtime on the streets. You can't be overtime in the press zone. There is no such thing. You have a press pass, you're able to stay there. Trying to get them to respond to this and to answer it and take care. Obviously, to me, it's a new person. They didn't read it's a press zone, and they just started putting tickets on cars. It's a sinking feeling in a place like Philadelphia. Unless you're inside or something, you got to go through these hoops to do it. So you can imagine when they had to be brought kicking and screaming to heel here, and she issues a 32-page report around what Henry said. Let's go first, though, to Scott Presler, who's in the middle. Big crowd out there in Doylestown. Hey, Scott, how's it going?
Well, Dom, at 8 a.m. we started today. I tell you, I have not sat down for one moment since I've been here. I've been on my feet, shaking hands the entire time. Are there any Charlie Kirk supporters here today? And who is going to be voting today? So, Don, as you can hear, there is a crowd. It continues to build. They're all wearing freedom shirts, either red or white. And the energy is palpable, Dom.
Well, this is...
And happy birthday, Charlie.
Yeah, I know around the country, Scott, all kinds of people are trying to honor Charlie Kirk. This is the most creative, best way to do it. Putting together everything as a lesson to people. You can vote safely this way. You can do it right now. Bank that vote, and we'll be aware of it. The numbers, we don't know how you voted, but the numbers are there. And we'll have a sense that we're not down by 1 million votes like we have been heading into this big election.
Well, I want to give people some comfort. Thank you very much. Thank you. I want to give people some comfort about the numbers. So why am I focused on Bucks County? Well, this is a county that we flipped together from blue to red in terms of voter registration, and then we won it for the first time since 1988 by 300 votes. And so let's look at 2023 for a second. That year, we had a Supreme Court election, and we got clobbered. The Democrats requested 50,000 mail-in ballots, and at the time, Republicans requested 12,000 mail-in ballots. But as of 10/10 last week, I can tell you the Democrats had requested 47,000 ballots, meaning less than 2023, and Republicans requested 22,000, meaning almost double what they did in 2023. So clearly, Dom, our work is working. This is not including the early in-person we're doing today, and we have learned from our mistakes in the past, and we are going to continue to vote in Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
Hey, and Scott, you know what I remember? And the woman, you probably remember, for listeners, Carlucci was a brilliant woman that should have been on the Supreme Court. Instead, we have a guy who I think is a hack. And in that election, it was found out, over 400,000 votes down going into Election Day. So when people hear that, they decide not to show up and vote. Your message, what we're doing right now, should give hope. We're in this to win it. This is definitely doable with these 3 Supreme Court seats. And out there in Bucks County, it's on my radar, Fred Herron and Jen Short.
Yes. At the end of the day, if you want law and order, if you want to lock up criminals, then vote for, reelect Fred Herron as your sheriff. And if you want to make sure those criminals actually get prosecuted after getting locked up and aren't just let go with cashless bail, then vote to re-elect Jen Shorn. Having the power duo of Herron and Shorn is critical to our success here in Bucks County. And of course, I am asking everyone to flip over your ballot and fire your judges. Turn over your ballot and term limit your judges. And to Democrats that are listening right now as spies, we are coming peacefully for Doherty, Donahue, and Wecht, and we are going to celebrate your early retirement on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025.
That takes us back
we need
to
to do this more often, Dom. This is fun. We got to do this more often.
Absolutely. I wish we were broadcasting remotely from there. So, Scott, day to day, to chart all this progress, other than when you come on, where do we find you?
Yes, please. You have until the 28th of October. Vote early, in person, on demand. Vote early, in person, on demand. Go to your county elections office. Any questions, go vote.pa.gov. You can go to earlyvoteaction.com. You can slide into my DMs at Scott Pressler on X. And just know that I'm going to be beating the streets every single day, knocking on doors, and I need you. Spend today. Make 32 phone calls for Charlie Kirk in honor of his 32nd birthday. Send 32 text messages today in honor of Charlie Kirk's 32nd birthday. And let's win big this November. Virginia, Winsome Sears for governor. New Jersey, Jack Chatterley for governor. Pennsylvania, no to retention. And we're going to win big, Dom.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks to everybody there. Thanks for honoring Charlie Kirk.
Thank you. Bye, Dom.
All right. Boy, the guy knows how to draw a crowd. All right, it is the lightning round coming up. Thank you, Andrew, too, for getting me this. I'll just give you that language in a moment from the final analysis of Ellen Greenberg's death, according to the medical examiner in Philadelphia. Lightning round, though. Let's get a winner. All-time dry spell or drought.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-554-3775. That's 800-554-3775. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-554-3775. That's 800-554-3775 today.
For more expert appliance shopping advice, here's National Appliance Warehouse's own appliance guru.
Hello. Today's cutting-edge appliances are technologically advanced with many features designed to make life easier. To ensure the appliances you choose accomplish that, it's important to compare and explore a variety of options at once. That's why at National Appliance Warehouse, we created an incredible showroom for customers to do just that. 6 times the size of an average chain store, our showroom is large enough to display the over 100 brands we sell. And I'm not the only guru. Our whole team of friendly professionals not only answer questions, but suggest questions to ask so that you end up with the perfect appliances for you.
It's time to fall into savings at National Appliance Warehouse. There's still time to enjoy huge savings on GE appliances. Save up to 35% on select GE appliances. Browse an unmatched collection of GE, Cafe, GE Profile, and Monogram appliances. Click nationalappliancewarehouse.com or visit their showroom in tax-free Wilmington today.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-384-9393. That's 800-384-9393.
If you're still waiting for a sign, here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work for us. So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Keeping free speech alive. Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210. WPHT. WPHT.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
All right, it is the lightning round. Let's go with Dom to Pete in Habertown. All right, Pete, what's that long dry spell?
Well, I was going to say Ethan Edwards went on a 5-year journey on horseback, Dom, along with Martin Pauly to search for little Debbie, who was kidnapped after the Indians burned down his brother's house in the Searchers.
Wow, that is long. That is interesting. Yeah, that's a good one. Charlie in Orland on Talk Radio 1210. All right, Charlie, what's yours?
Hey, Dom, can we get Scott to Montgomery County? We need him badly there.
You know what? We'll tell him that. Let's do something like we did today. It's a great way to drive things out of Montgomery County. Sure.
Yeah, we need it. And it's been 94 years since William Big Bill Thompson was the last Republican mayor of Chicago.
All right. I thought there was another one there. I'll have to check on that in my mind. That I thought there was a Republican because of a snowstorm. Maybe
because of a snowstorm.
They didn't do the snowstorm correctly, so I thought they elected a Republican.
Is this some sort of political term I'm not familiar with?
No, the snow is big in Chicago. They didn't clear the snow.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Steph there. He may be right, though. I just am rooting for Philadelphia to have the longest. The buffoonery of Philadelphia is legendary. The Earl of Tacony. All right, Earl, what's yours?
Ancient historians have gone through and looked at maps,
And all the maps from long, long ago have North Africa as being a lush grassland with forest and major cities. And what happened was there was a shift in the Earth's rotation around the sun, and all of that green turned into the Sahara Desert 5,000 years ago. It's a 5,000-year-old drought that's been going on and continues to go on today.
That's a pretty good physical one. Joe of Exton. Joe, what's yours?
Yes, hello, Dom, and good afternoon.
Afternoon, Joe.
My example of a delay and hiatus is the story of Ulysses, in which he is involved for a number of years in the Trojan War, after which he returns to Ithaca, only to discover that a group of suitors had been vying for the hand of his wife Penelope, whereupon Ulysses reacts by stringing his bow, decimating the suitors, and reclaiming Penelope as his wife.
Thank you, Joe. You talk about on brand. This guy can roll out of bed and bang. He's right there, Ulysses. All right.
my God.
Andrew, did you have a potential couple that you liked here out of all these? We had some brilliant ones. No, Mike Henry. How about yours?
His mic died.
Yeah,
Let me see if I can get back.
Okay.
How about try it now, Andrew?
All right, we're a little
gosh.
low.
All right.
Yeah.
Nothing works here.
Okay.
All right, yeah, the ones I like today. I like Brendan and Chad Ford's answer of 30
Right.
years since the U.S. produced the #1 car here. I also like Peyton Havertown's answer of the Searchers, very detailed. And then just because it made me laugh, Gary in Newtown, the 40-year-old virgin.
Yeah, I kind of got wedded to the Chad's Ford thing.
Yeah.
When he said it was a great call, he had everything you want in a call, and that's
Set the
shocking.
tone.
Yeah, 30 years or so, 30 years approximately, no American car is the #1 bestseller in America. You know what? If you told Trump that, if I were there with Trump and you told him that right now, pick up the phone. All right, here's what we're going to do. He's too busy telling Time Magazine, put the hair back on his head or we'll sue them. Oh, my God. What a show. Thanks, Andrew, for producing today. Henry, of course, at the controls. So tomorrow, we'll ask Scott Presler how many people showed up and voted today over there in Bucks County. And we do hope to talk with the lawyers in the Greenberg case. She did this because she was upset over inflated grades for first graders. You buying that? It is almost insulting. But then again, it's Philadelphia. All right, Richie always next with 4 big hours as we roll toward Election Day. Follow me on Twitter at DomShow1210.